This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Sierra 117, and you're watching Xbox Ultimate. Now, finish the fight. Chief out.
Hey everybody, welcome to Xbox Ultimate episode number 51. I hope you are all having a absolutely great evening, and we're ready to have some fun with you guys. We're gonna have a good show today. As always, 3-Bit can't be here right now because he's a party animal, and but we do have 6 of our 7 here today, as well as a special guest. Now last time we tried to have Boogie on, his son had other plans. He was saying, "Daddy, no, not today." So he made special arrangements, and today he is going to be able to be here. So everybody, please say hello to Boogieman and welcome to the show, sir. How's it going, dude?
I'm doing all right, brother. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the invite, and I'm glad that I can actually be here the whole time this time.
Heck yeah, dude. Super happy that you're able to be here. We're having fun talk about clowns and stuff before we went live, and I'm ready to stop talking about that because it scares the crap out of me. So, guys, hello to first in my heart, my lovely wife Kaitlin.
Hey guys.
She looks snazzy today, guys, with red lipstick, right?
Dude, I can't even fucking get over how hot she is. Like, I keep trying not to look at her.
It's literally just red lipstick, guys.
Oh my god, I don't know. It's just gonna make me fucking cream my jeans, so don't say it like that.
Oh, show's starting out good. Let's go. Can only go up from here. Let's do this.
It's Friday night, guys.
Strawberries and cream.
Fine.
and then we have Lady
Psycho.
AF, the one and only. How's it going, lady?
It's going well. I'm excited to be here. I was worried I wasn't gonna make it because the fucking internet today. I had no internet. Like, and I don't know if you guys have ever like not had internet for a long time, but my internet went off at 7:15 this morning, and then all day long I didn't have internet, and I had 8 kids here today, so it was just KhAos. Fucking horrible. It's just the worst day ever.
when you can't give them all an iPad and say,
well, you know, and it's so funny because I like to think that I'm a pretty like, you know, interactive parent. Like I hang out with my kids, we do things and stuff like that. But like at this point, I'm like, I'm not fucking talking to you guys for 3 days because we did way too much today together. There was too much. Like, I mean, at one point I was playing Duck Duck Goose and like,
what the?
Yeah, so yeah, that was my Friday.
I used to love Duck Duck Goose.
It's a fun time.
Duck, duck, gray duck. God damn it. Get it right.
I like Grey Goose.
Is that the Minnesota version?
That's the Midwest version. Thank you.
All right. And then we have the extraordinary AssassinLupa.
Hello, peeps. Great to be here. Looking forward to an exciting show. Thanks for being here, Boogieman. It's going to be fun. Let's get on.
Heck yeah. Then we have the mellow fellow from outer space. What's that smirk? What's up, man?
What's up? I'm doing good. How you guys?
Okay. I'm doing great.
It's Friday. Let's get it on. Let's do it.
And then the encyclopedia of gaming dating back to the first game ever made, the one and the only Pong Soul. What's up, dude?
Friday. Back with the family. We got Deadspace is back. Battlefield is looking even better than before, which I didn't think was possible. We had indies dropping galore this week. It was a great week, man. So I'm happy to be here. It's Friday night, missing 3-bit already, but you know what? We got lots of topics. We got Boogie back in the building to have a full show, which is amazing. Obviously, love Boogie. So let's get down to business, man.
Yeah, dude. And business this week was EA Play Live. So they had their show. It was what it was, right? Like as far as the show goes, they had some interesting things. They had a little bit of Apex there. They announced a new game, Grid Legends, that looks pretty interesting. They kind of made a big deal about Codemasters, joining the ranks at the beginning of that show. If you like Grid, I think Grid Legends could have some interesting things there. And then also they went on to have some talk about Battlefield. And remember when they announced Battlefield before, they had actually announced that there was 2 more modes they're going to reveal later. And this one is actually from the newly renamed Ripple Effect, formerly Dice LA, that is going to be headed up actually by Vince Zampella. And after they're done with this project, they are working on a new game for EA. So I think it's a new IP, potentially even. So that's very exciting that Vince is going to be heading that project up as well. So, but first they're finishing this, and this is Battlefield Portal, and it's taking Battlefield and giving people that sandbox experience to be able to customize the matches, customize the characters that you're using, be able to customize what kind of weapons you can use. Think of it like Halo custom games or stuff like that, where you can kind of have fun and create your own modes using the maps. The other cool part of this is also it expands from the 7 that we knew we were going to get into more maps as well that are fan favorites throughout Battlefield. So I think personally this has a lot of potential, and I'm curious if I know Boogie watched the trailer or a little bit earlier today on that. What were your thoughts on it, dude?
I think that the Battlefield Portal is going to make for some very interesting matches. I think that's going to be pretty amazing to see the defibrillators versus knives, and the World War II versus some of the current tech. When it comes to the robot tanks versus the big tank, my money's on the big tank.
Oh yeah, you had like you said, the defibrillators versus knives, and like you got like World War I versus 2042 stuff, and like all these different things. And my mind just kind of thinks about all the possibilities to have not only the modes, but there's going to be a lot more weapons in this than any other Battlefield before too, because they're crossing multiple time periods, right? Pong, I see you keep nodding very heavily. You're very pumped about this?
You know it, brother. You know, I'm already on the Battlefield hype train. I've been on the Battlefield hype train. I've been waiting for this comeback, for them to do something, to bring it back to the fans. This is total fan service right here, right? This is 100% giving everybody that is a Battlefield diehard the opportunity to go in and redo again. You can't map edit, so it's not like a full forge like Halo has, but to bring in all the assets from all from 1942, from Battlefield 2, Battlefield 3, Bad Company 2. They're bringing in all those assets and some of the classic style maps, and they're already talking about adding more to it to give everybody the tools to go in and create some custom matches is huge. We've seen it in Halo, right? We've seen what it's done for Halo. There's been official modes that have come out of community created content. Battlefield is taking that next step and allowing some people to do this. Now, IGN had an article today. I saw another interview where one of the developers said you're not going to be able to create like a battle royale out of the gates. They're not giving people that much freedom. They're going to start it small. as far as what rules and what kind of customizations you can do, but they're already planning on down the road that if this catches on, they're just going to add more and more and more and more to it, and eventually get to the point where people can do stuff like that. But just to start out, just to be able to get into a match, and even if I just want to get those old Bad Company 2 feels again, and to be able to create a custom match where we're just using Bad Company 2 assets, dude, that's just cool out the gates. But then, like Boogie was just talking about, the knives versus defibrillators looked freaking amazing, right? Be able to have a World War II Spitfire up against an F-20 or F-20 or F-22, crazy battles like that. Just the creativeness that comes out of a fan base when you give them a sandbox like this. We already know, we've seen it plenty of times before, and this is just props to EA and DICE for doing this one right. And I think that the chips, the dominoes, whatever you want to say, could not have fallen any better for them with the problems that Activision's having, with the supposed development hell that Call of Duty's in, to come out and force, like it appears Battlefield is this year, when Activision and Call of Duty are going through some struggles, and you got Halo, of course. Halo's going to be gigantic, but you come in as that modern day shooter, where everybody's kind of sick of Call of Duty on top of everything else. It couldn't be more perfect.
Games too, man.
Yeah, it couldn't be more perfect, and they're going all out. Again, to have another studio go back and pull all these assets and do all this work, pull these maps, and add them. I mean, that's just crazy. That means they get it. They've heard the fan base. Now, again, we'll see how it comes out. We don't know anything until we get our hands on it. We don't know down the road what it's going to look like. But every time they've done this, every time they've shown this game so far, it definitely shows they've been listening. They've taken all the criticism. They took those big hits over the past, whatever it's been, 5, 6, 7 years. And they're coming back, and that's the good news, because as a Battlefield fan, a diehard fan, I can't wait. This is huge for me.
Yeah, dude. Lady, are you like do you play Battlefield?
I do. I played Battlefield 4, and I played a little bit of Bad Company, but other than that, I haven't delved like too much into the series, but I played enough of it to know that I prefer it over Call of Duty. So right. I played a bit of the latest one, but not enough of it, just enough to know I didn't really care for it as much as Battlefield 4. So I'm excited for it. I mean, I'm stoked. I'm excited for what they showed. I think the EA play just had a lot of stuff there that I was excited for. So yeah, the DICE game looked fantastic. That's just more up my alley, single player kind of fun, cartoony, dark.
What was that? Lost in
Random.
Cool.
Lost in Random.
Lost in Random, yeah. That one looks fantastic. So I'm excited for that. I think my only kind of drawback when it comes to Battlefield is its timing in co-op for me, because I feel like there's going to be so much on my plate come fall when it comes to co-op that finding the time for everything is going to be hard. And in a game like Battlefield, and with a game like Halo out at the same time, having that balance in playing it and leveling up and being, on par with everybody else, it's just going to be hard to kind of pick and choose what I'm playing when it comes to a PvP shooter like that. So, but I'm excited for what EA said. I'm excited for, what they have. I think that that's kind of like breaking through of the genre and like just giving us something that nobody else has done yet. So it's exciting.
Yeah, especially in this type of shooter, right? Like it's been done like with Halo has like heavy customization options.
Yep,
like
they have the
Far Cry even in the past has done that. But nothing with the modern military style, and especially in this scale too, because you not only have like one thing you can say even Halo or Far Cry and those games don't have is the different eras, right? You got different types of vehicles from different time periods, right? You got different kinds of characters you can use, so that's all is super intriguing. And plus they're just bringing back the classic maps that people love, and that's actually one thing I would actually like to see Halo do that Call of Duty and Battlefield have done in the past, where they bring back classic maps as we know them, right? But in like modernize them a little bit. Instead, like Halo takes the same map and they completely redo it, right? To where it's like a different name and there's like quite a bit of different things with it. But like sometimes you want, like I want Blood Gulch, right? Or I want, you know what I mean? So Battlefield, they're doing some cool things there with that portal to allow them to do that kind of stuff. So that's really cool too.
How cool was that? How cool was that match they showed? I wanted to see it play out and how it actually, you know, ended, right? Was that 4 modern day, you know, soldiers versus 32 World War II soldiers.
That's badass,
Man,
dude.
That is so cool. I mean, just think about those options you can come up with.
Yeah, you know, you got the 2042s using drones and shit,
yeah.
right? And
yeah,
then,
exactly.
Like, marking targets and like.
Yep.
Did you see that like super tall structure falling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tower, the big
like
giant
that
tower.
was really cool.
Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of destruction. But yeah, just the combinations you can do with this are gonna be insane. I can't wait. God.
Yeah, that was from Battlefield 4, right? Where they started calling it Levolution. Was that like
Levolution.
Yes.
Battlefield 4 had the best destruction, I think. I mean, but I mean, from what I've played personally, like I mean, compared to the 3 that I played, I just thought that it had the best when it came to that. I know Bomber was like really off put by like the not level of destruction in this one. Like he's been, you know, voicing his opinions on that. But I think that we're going to see a lot of it. I think it'll be more than what we're.
Yeah, I think the big structures are not going to be destructible, but like the smaller areas that are going to be destructible and possibly like blowing hole through walls and having a different way to transverse through the map is going to be really neat. And I definitely dig the portal. You know, being able to play all the best like iconic maps from all throughout the series is really, really neat, you know. And then having the beta, there's going to be an alpha beta at the end of the summer for elite players, and then they're going to have the beta, then open beta at what I think September.
Yep.
So if you pre-order, you get to play a little bit earlier than everyone else. So it's just really neat. I can't wait to play it, see how I like it. And you know, yeah, it doesn't have story, but you know what are we all going to be playing mostly is going to be multiplayer anyway. So
correct.
I'm excited for it. So can't wait.
Things like this kind of say, okay, if you aren't doing the campaign, what are some of the resources you can put towards other things, right?
Yep. And
this is something that they were able to do, maybe potentially because they weren't having a whole team work on a campaign instead, right? So that this takes a whole dev team to make this happen, right? This is Dice LA making this happen.
Doesn't Battlefield have a lot of like you can play with a lot of people online?
128.
128 players.
Yep.
64 versus 64.
That's good.
And to touch on something that I don't mean to interrupt, but I haven't heard anybody touch on it was excuse me.
Don't get choked up, man.
I know you're excited.
It's okay, man. Don't cry. We'll give you your chance.
No, was what I was going to touch on was the fact that they mentioned that they're going to have no campaign, but they're also going to have bots. And I know it's an unpopular view, but for people who don't have the time, sorry, I have a little bit of a frog in my throat. But for people who don't have the time or don't have the ability to link up to play multiplayer, that's still an option, and to level up your character and keep yourself in the rankings to be able to play when you do have the chance with the multiplayer, and to actually, I would say, gain a level of understanding on the battlefield, especially with the portal mechanic of being able to have all these different units to be able to kind of work out tactics against different units and so on and so forth. And I think it's something that a lot of people are kind of overlooking, because a lot of people looked at that bots and were like, oh, it's bots, you know, in case you don't have any friends or whatever. And that's just kind of poor. But I mean, bots served me really well when I was playing Perfect Dark on the Nintendo 64, when I was practicing for rounds against my homies when they came over couch co-op. So they can serve everybody really well if done right.
Yeah. Now there is going to be a story to a multiplayer like mode. There is like going to be, it's kind of like how Titanfall 1 had a story-esque, but it's Battlefield is going to take it to the next level. So, you know, even though it doesn't have a just a single player mode itself, a campaign. There is going to be a story for multiplayer in one of the modes. So people, that want a story, they're giving it to you in a different way. And I like, it was neat when Titanfall did it. So I want to see how Battlefield and DICE does their version of a story style multiplayer.
Yeah, I think the bots could be cool for you too, Lupa, right? Because like somebody that hasn't played as much of the like online shooters, right? And I remember you being excited about that feature in Halo, how you can kind of train, right? In the academy thing that they have, right? This would be something that we could set up like different matches and kind of do co-op versus bots and stuff together. So it definitely has more of an accessibility, especially for people that are like not ready to jump in online with all the people that take the game sometimes way too seriously, right? So is that something that you would enjoy, is playing against the bots, like with some of us?
Yeah, well, everybody said everything I was going to. I've watched all the things I can find on it, and I'm really pleased they're doing something new for people, for gamers to get stuck into. And yeah, the everybody said everything already, so I just say yes to your question. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm like Lady, I'm looking forward to the DICE game, and that looked really cool. But yeah, as far as Battlefield goes, having the ability to do that is really nice, because not everybody plays online shooters all the time. So
yeah,
you know, and I'm just not got the reactions to be as good as them, and then you keep getting beat down, and it makes you a bit like, what's the point? And do I want to play like $80, $100 or £80 for that sort of thing? Probably not.
Right.
But you know, because it's got that option, that would be more enticing, I think, for a lot of people that don't normally play them.
Yeah, I agree, and it still may not be for everybody. Like, the one thing, like when they made the decision to do no campaign, they're automatically know they're canceling out a lot of gamers, right? They know that when they make the decision, you know what I mean? But like, as far as making the experience that they want, I think this is like going in that direction, right? And taking it a step further with some of these moves to try and make it more accessible for people that are interested in it, right? But I want to touch on something Shizno said in the chat, because shout out to Shizno Elite. He said like a cool mode would be like, I think he said that ACG had mentioned this or something, like,
yeah, for streamers,
like 1 versus 32 or something like that. Yep. Like I could imagine having a blast doing stuff like that, like with the community and chat. Like if you pop in chat, you hop in the game, and just like, let's go. Let's see what we can do.
Cool. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be that sounds like fun as hell. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure I'd get my ass beat. You know, but that would be a blast to try and have fun. Like different things with the community. It's like I like options, right? The more open like games are to customize, and I know I keep mentioning Halo with this, because this does remind me some of Forge and some of like the custom games with Halo, that going all the way back to like Halo 2 and setting all those custom options up, right? How many different modes has Halo spawned because of the custom game browser, because of the custom games, right? You got so many different things, like Rocket Race and what's the one with the gravity hammers and the ball, Griff Ball, Griff Ball, all these different games that like Halo has spawned that the devs never would have thought of that. Like it was the community, right, that created these things, and we have potential for a lot of new things to be born from this, so that's pretty exciting. Shout out to everybody in the chat for hanging out tonight. We got lots of awesome people. We got Snakewood, aka Micah Ford. Like I said, Shizno, Jasper. Want to have Jasper on the show sometime. He started streaming. Guys, check out his channel. And he's also very knowledgeable, especially about Halo. Midway, let's see, Anime, he's got a YouTube channel that you guys check out his channel as well. Peter from Next Level Gaming. Super awesome people here. Thank you all for hanging out tonight.
Hi, Psychonauts, by the way.
Hi, Psycho. I see a lot of people in chat. Kevin from
Kevin came in.
yeah, from Backlog.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Loud.
Yeah, I know.
Cloud.
Red
Cloud
Bull.
has an awesome review out there. If anybody hasn't read it yet, on the game that I can't remember the name of.
Game.
Is it Death's Door?
Death's Door.
Death's Door. Yeah.
We can get into Death's Door a little bit right now if y'all want, because
I'm playing Death's Door Cloud. Really good game, yeah.
I started it last night finally.
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it's good. It's way better than I thought it would. Like I thought it was gonna be really good. Like it
gets
looked
harder,
like,
Mav.
but it was like the game is like what I hoped it would be. You know, when you see a game, oh, this looks like this game's made for me, and you know, and you're like, oh, I just love it. It's got all these things, and then you actually go and play it, and you're like, okay, it's not what I hoped it would be, right? This is exactly what I thought it was, but like spot on, right? They like Death's Door is very satisfying. It's smooth. The combat is good. What happens, what you think is supposed to happen happens. You know what I mean? Like with the combat, if you lose, it's your fault, right? Like, it's got the exploration. It's got smart mechanics with opening up the pathways and all of these different things. So, I'm super into it so far.
Did you get to the first boss yet?
Yeah, I beat the boss. Yeah, I beat the
Oh
first
my
boss.
god! What a freaking! When I saw
Wait,
that,
which one?
The big
the
castle
forest
house
spirit
thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, you
I was
kept hitting the little forest spirits, Mav. You're meant to get 10 of them to follow you, not beat them up.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh.
they keep running
What
away.
the fuck?
They're intimidated by me. Why am I supposed to get them to follow me?
You just walk up to them and they follow you, but as
They
soon as
follow you
use
until
your
you like
sword,
use your sword. They run off.
and then they run off. But then you can go and collect them again because you need to get 10 for an achievement.
Oh.
Follow you.
Well, I
Okay.
like
Cool.
Chivos. Good to
Mhm.
know, Lupa. Way to
Mhm.
come out and give us the goods.
Yeah.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
But the boss fights do get harder, and they're pretty awesome, and you really have to work out each one. And they have frustrated me slightly, but I've got there in the end, if you know what I mean.
I'm so excited.
It is really cool game, and once you get into the mansion, oh my god, that is wicked, and the mechanics in it are outstanding. The way you
Yeah.
have to play it is really, you think it would be linear, but it's not linear. You end up having to go everywhere to find everything, but to find your way around is quite daunting. And then when you do, the mechanics you have to use to find your way around is unbelievable.
The only issue I've had so far is I keep trying to hit the B button to roll because I'm used to B being like
I did
roll.
that. Yeah,
and it's
that's
A.
exactly what I did.
So when I'm in
for
the heat
ages.
of like crazy combat, right, and I'm needing to rely mostly on my reflexes and stuff and reactions, I hit B just because it's like
Yeah.
muscle memory, right? And
took
so
me
it gets me
time, yeah.
killed sometimes.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me, especially with her with the tentacles. It was like, oh damn, don't stand there, move. So I quickly put up my speed, like dodging roll.
Oh yeah, so that was the
abilities.
first boss. I beat her.
Yeah, you beat her.
And then I beat
And-
the castle thing.
Castle, yeah. That they're pretty straightforward. The ones after that, not so much.
Okay, interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Have you been enjoying
It's
it,
really
Psycho?
exciting.
I played it that one night, quite a bit. I got just past the castle for a little bit, and then I just haven't touched it. I haven't really been gaming the last yesterday, but what I have played of it, loved it. The mechanics feel solid as hell.
Smooth
Gameplay
as well.
is great. So far, story is pretty good. So I can't wait to see what it unfolds later and get a little bit more info on what unfolds. But just seeing being this
You're
little
gonna
crow.
find puzzles as well, Mav.
Oh
You
yeah.
have to
Oh,
work
nice.
out
Cool.
lots of puzzles.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm just like, I'm a little crow against that giant castle. It's like, holy crap. How the hell am I supposed to beat this thing? But just
A
timing
crow's a
and everything.
reaper's awesome though, right?
Yeah,
A
it's
soul
definitely
reaper
different.
crow. It just it makes sense to me because crows are always around graveyards.
Yeah, so It's really cool.
How far are you, lady, in it?
Hold on.
I'm not that far.
Not that far.
No, I'm kind of like where Psycho is. I started playing it on the day it came out, and I have about like 5 games right now that I'm working on. And I started playing this, and I'm like, fuck, I need to not play this yet, and I need to at least finish one of the other fucking 5 games that I have going before I come and start this one, just because my backlog is like just fucking, I don't know what, it's Game Pass. It's fucking Game Pass. And I'm not gonna like say Game Pass is a bad thing or anything, but fuck, like there's so much right now that I just, I can't keep up. I can't keep up with the amount of time that I have to play games, and then the games that are coming out that I want to play, and then I'm buying games on top of the Game Pass games, and then it's just like a fucking Jenga right now of me just trying to decide every time I turn on my Xbox. And then I want to play with my friends, so then like I have these games like Splitgate and Halo and stuff like that, so it's just so hard to juggle everything right now. So I'm trying to finish Minute of Islands first. Like that's my goal right now. I'm gonna finish this game, and then I'm going to go back and just really dive into Death's Door, because I feel like it's gonna kind of take a lot out of me. That's not my typical like game. I get easily frustrated. I am the type of person who has little to no patience when it comes to things. So but I am dead set on finishing it. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna do it. So
and it's again, everybody's you have to backtrack as well.
Yeah, so it's like kind of Metroidvania. Somebody had said that in a way. So
very
is it more like
Halo, Hollow Knight?
Okay, so do you unlock abilities to backtrack, or do you get keys to backtrack?
No,
like Halo or like Zelda.
You get like fire and bombs and different things you put on your D-pad. So you have to backtrack, because you'll see like there's a fire mechanic in it where you have to light different fires with your arrows. But then once you go back and you do certain parts, I'm not going to spoil, you have to you get then a fire spell that you can use instead of your arrows, so you can swap from up to left for your fire or your arrows, and then there's bomb arrows and others. And they all they all hold an achievement.
Zelda-ish.
It's very Zelda.
It's a mixture.
Hollow Knight-ish. It's definitely a mixture.
It also has got some Souls elements to it, because like opening up the pathways, that as you get further, that makes the pathway shorter to get to your final destination. It's very Souls-like, right? Because like when you unlock those gates, it allows you to shortcut back to the beginning. And if you die, you start back at the beginning. So
you ran past the door, Mav. When you went all the way back, when you finished, you ran past the door you should have gone out of, which was right up by you.
You should have said something.
I just thought I'd let you get on with it to start with.
No, I thought I saw a door, and I was like, oh, wait, was I supposed to do something with that door back there?
Yeah, that door, each area you go into, there's you put a new door down, you'll see a big pink key, and you activate it, and that's your door back to the office, so to speak. But there's like a puzzle game you missed in the garden to find a secret garden. There's also the fact that I said about the 10 little forest sprites. Or spirits.
Can you just be in the chat whenever I'm playing?
Right, just guide him,
please. You're like the
that's
guide.
the shit that I would be upset if I miss. Like, because I'm so like I like to find everything when I play a game, and I get upset when I don't. Yeah, exactly. Like so,
and sometimes those backtracking ones really annoy me because I want to do it all now. But hey, it's got to be done.
It's so hard for me, Lupa.
You have to take one of the forest sprites. Spirits, sorry, I keep calling them sprites, they're spirits, back through the metal detector where you start when you get off the train. You also have to do this puzzle, that's another achievement called Plot Head, that's in the garden somewhere, but you completely missed it.
Wow, I missed so much. I didn't even notice. Holy crap. There's
little doorways that you didn't go into, Mav, that look like concrete sort of openings, and they lead into little caves, and you'll find soul in there, little pink balls of soul.
I saw one of those.
I've gotten those.
There's
I've been through a bunch. No, I've noticed
there's
like,
lots of hidden stuff that you have to look for, but
Yeah.
these
This game's
shinies,
awesome.
as they call them, they're sort of like they light up and you can find those.
Pong, are you into this game? I mean, have you tried out Death's Door yet, or is it something you're
Nope.
interested in?
I got it, but I'm not going to start it. I've been working on Chris Tales and Last Stop.
I know you're
both of those,
really excited for Chris Tales.
Plus, all the other stuff. But again, my week's been so busy with work that I haven't had a whole lot of time. So Chris Tales and Last Stop I played this week, and I'm holding off on Death's Door
Are you
until I
enjoying
get
Chris
one
Tales?
of those fish. Yes, it's absolutely everything I thought it was from the demo and more. So
I forget what style is it, like tactics based or like turn based, or
it's turn based. Yes.
Yeah,
It's old school JRPG style. Except it's got
nice.
it's got the time mechanic to it. So
Chris,
there's
okay,
Chris
like
Tales
Lost
is
Odyssey?
turn-based.
yes, Chris Tales.
Oh
is
well,
turn-based.
that's going back into Game Pass. See you, Chris Tales. I was going to give that a try, Pong, but no, that's just turned me right off.
That's fine. Not every game's for everybody, but no,
No,
it's absolutely beautiful. It's amazing. There are some bugs to it. Some people are having worse problems than others. I haven't wound up in any major ones except for at some points the controller just seems to stop working and you have to actually disconnect the controller, reconnect it, and it's back again. But they did push a patch last night, I want to say, and I haven't tried it since to see if they fixed it. But yeah, no, it's fantastic game. And Last Stop from Annapurna is it's hit or miss for me with narrative driven games, and this is a narrative driven game. But the first chapter I played of one of the characters was really intriguing, so I actually kind of enjoyed it. It was simplistic.
The story grabbed you.
Yeah, it's mini games. Last Stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that on Game Pass as well? I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people are shitting on it because
I like narrative. I kind of like narrative driven games.
You probably would like this. It's really it's an intertwining story, so you got different character perspectives and their stories all come together somehow. So you get to play each one of those characters through different chapters, and then they got mini games during the story, right? So it's like I said, they're hit or miss for me, but this one is very good. Like I said, I really enjoyed the first chapter, so I'm going to keep going with it. Yeah.
Eventually, one day.
Shout out to Caper Grant 692, aka Paul. What's up, dude? He hits us with a $5 super chat. Says happy Friday to you, sir. I love Fridays. Fridays are amazing.
And yes, Shizno, Blood Roots is very good as well.
Yes.
I forgot I did start that. That was fun too.
Blood Roots is one that's like another one that I'm like, I don't even want to look at it right now because I can't handle
that.
It,
is great though.
Game Pass is too good. It's too fucking good.
But Blood Roots is one of those games you can pick up for short periods of time because the levels are very fast. Right.
What I was gonna say,
it's a quick game.
I've played Blood Roots, but I've only played it on xCloud on my phone with a Kishi. It's actually a fucking great Kishi game.
That's
because
awesome.
It's smooth and you can it has those quick checkpoints, right?
Yep.
So you can get to the next spot. And then when you pick up, you're going to be at that next spot, and it's just very quick and satisfying. A lot of fun.
Well, I'm going to do it then because I've had my Kishi since May, and I have yet to use it.
Yeah, one I would actually love to play on the Kishi is Death's Door, but it's not in Game Pass.
Yeah, true.
It's not in Game Pass, so it's not available on xCloud. Right?
Well, why don't you try remote play though?
That's what I'm gonna do. Probably in bed tonight or something. Hey Boogie, is there any of these games we've been mentioning that you've got or you've tried?
I haven't gotten the chance to get my hands on any of these at the moment, but I do know that Death's Door and Chris Tales, both of those I've had on my list for the indies that I was waiting for to come out for a while. I've heard really good things about Blood Roots this past week, and I'm looking forward into jumping into all of them, but at the moment I'm trying to get through Scarlet Nexus, dude. I just got some time to play games the other day. As a father, you realize sometimes we don't have all the time that we play or that we can to play. So, for me, it's here and there I get a chance to play, and I'm currently trying to pound my way through Scarlet Nexus. So once that's done, I plan on picking up some of these indies and jumping into some of them.
Nice, dude. Yeah, a lot of good stuff right now. It's and it's just about to get
It's
crazy.
just a start. It's just
Yeah.
a start.
And people are gonna, if everyone's having issues with backlog, it's only gonna get worse.
Well,
There's at least 18 big games coming this year alone. That's not including the other smaller titles, like Crossfire X and Exo Mecha, that they were not on the list that Xbox put out the other day. So your backlog is about to get even more freaking jammed up. So I don't know
We're not
how.
gonna have time for single player come fucking Infinite. Like nobody's gonna want to fucking play single player. We're all gonna be like, oh my god, I have to go level my fucking Spartan. Like fuck, whatever. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
It's insane.
It's
I know.
like
I refuse to
Battlefield
call it a
November too.
backlog. Yeah, Battlefield's gonna be out. I refuse to call it a backlog anymore. It's just
just
there.
your
It's my
library.
library of games. That's all it is
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
It
that's
is
Call
what
it
what
a
it is.
backlog, it becomes a chore.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be
Yeah.
a chore, it should be fun.
Yeah. I don't care. I'm done worrying
No,
about
it
it.
is
It's not gonna
fun.
stop. It's not gonna stop.
It did used
So-
to be like a backlog, right?
Yes,
I think
yes.
it like, because like before I was okay, I have like 3 games that I haven't finished yet, but man, like because of, is it because of Game Pass? You know what I mean? Because we're having to make less decisions about what we get, right? Like we have access to a lot of things that we are trying that we maybe never tried before, right?
I don't think it's just because of Game Pass and allowing us that option to try new things, but I also think it's because if you look at the season that games usually released in, it's changed over the past couple years.
Correct.
Like
Mhm.
a lot of
That's
people
true.
are shooting for early February. Some people are even shooting for the summer for bigger releases, and it wasn't like that in the past. So it gives you less downtime. I mean, talking about backlog, library, whatever you want to call it, I've got 685 games, and you're talking about 5 right there that I want to get, but I'm still in the middle of one. It's nuts to see what the problems that it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
It's just the amount of content too. And we don't get any breaks. We used to have dry seasons, right? We used to have dry spots where there was nothing out, like kind of like earlier this year during spring. We kind of got that in between time when there was nothing. We were playing Second Extinction and that kind of stuff. But now there's like never going to be a dry spell. It's just going to be continuous. So
I have something to say before we move on to the next topic, because I owe Pong Soul an apology.
For what?
Because last week I said that I thought you were wrong and that it would be cool to have haptics in an Xbox controller.
Told
So,
you.
Now I've been
I
playing
said the same. It's
with this
rubbish.
baby right here the last few days off and on,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Now I've said this on stream. Now, as far as PlayStation goes, this is a massive upgrade, right? It hit the nail on the head. It feels super comfortable in the controller, in your hands, and a lot of things. Like they finally got it right. Okay, they finally got the feel and the dynamics of the controller right. But the haptic shit is just
Damn it.
it's basically it's just a distraction. It just feels stupid in my hands when that stuff's happening. And I was trying to shoot with Ratchet, and I felt like the controller was fighting me for no reason.
Yep.
And I was like, "What the hell is it?" I had to turn it off. I had to turn the haptics off. It felt like a gimmick.
That's what
So-
we've been saying.
Now, does that
now-
devalue this at all to me? No. Like, because this is still a
Wait.
great controller, but
Mav,
it
do you
doesn't
like-
need all that other shit, right?
So, Mav, did you turn off the haptics and the adaptive triggers, or just the adaptive triggers?
I turned off. I don't remember. I turned off like
Okay.
two different things.
Okay. All right.
It's on stream. You can see like what I turned off. It
Yeah.
it was basically the things that look stupid is what I turned
Yeah.
off. I read it and I was like, is that what I'm feeling right now? Yeah, because I'm not liking that. It was weird. It's at the beginning of the game. You couldn't even shoot. I was trying to shoot the simple like do gun, and it was like not letting me press the fucking trigger. I was
Hold on,
like,
what kind of
But
gun?
it's immersive, Mav. It makes you feel like you're really holding the gun, man.
It
Yeah,
didn't.
dude.
It made me feel like my controller was like wigging out on me, and like
But
I
did you
would go
turn the blow
insane.
off too?
no, that's like a stupid
Yeah.
Astro's Playroom thing. So I was trying to Astro's Playroom, guys. All you guys that say Astro's Playroom is amazing, hey, props to you guys, 100%.
I freaking hate the fact that if you're fighting in a multiplayer and your gun jams because the trigger says so, that would drive me insane. No.
Astro's Playroom just felt like a gimmick to me as well.
Yes.
That Miles Morales is amazing. Love it.
Yeah.
But so was Spider-Man, and it feels like Spider-Man.
Did you turn off the triggers for Miles too, so you couldn't feel the web tension, or did you leave it on for that?
That one wasn't as bad, right?
Okay.
Like wasn't really noticing that as like a problem or anything.
Well, everybody said it was the greatest thing ever. Like it felt like you were holding. I
didn't even notice it.
Yeah, that's how next gen it is.
But I didn't notice that. But like because with the Xbox controller, it has a lot of that stuff too, right? Like with the rumble and like and giving you the sense of feel and stuff. But like, I just don't. It felt honestly like when I was playing Astro's Playroom, it just felt all this shit moving around in my hands. Like it honestly like felt more of a distraction than an immersion to me. Now that's just me, maybe, right?
Right. No, some people have a totally different experience.
So I want something for me that just immerses me more. And for some reason, that stuff was taking me out of the experience because it was making me think about the controller instead of what I'm doing. Right. So I don't need that stuff in the Xbox controller. So
so you don't love the Spider-Man game, the Miles Morales?
Oh, I love the game.
Oh, he's liking.
Yeah, I love the game. Yeah.
I thought you said it felt no different than Spider-Man.
It doesn't. It's Spider-Man 1.5. Like
it's an expansion. So how much was that one?
Well, I got the one that is that plus Spider-Man remastered because I want the best version of Spider-Man. So it's $70, which again is bullshit because you should be able to upgrade your existing version of Spider-Man for free. Right.
Okay.
Or if they're going to allow you to upgrade it for $20, but to handicap or to gatekeep that behind an expansion that you're buying for $50 is stupid, right? That's the same thing they're doing with all these other games. That being said, I fucking love Spider-Man. I love the game. I gotta have the best version of it. I am not voting with my wallet. I'm sorry. I gotta have it. I'm not voting with my wallet on Battlefield. I'm paying $70 for that game.
Shame.
I don't.
Shame.
I don't like it. I'm going to speak against it, but I'm not going to keep myself from playing something that I enjoy. Right at the same time. So, yeah. As far as
stop talking about PlayStation.
Yeah, as far as that goes, sorry, Pong.
But since we talked about PlayStation, we lost about 10 viewers now.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris Jones.
My goodness.
Here comes PlayStation Ultimate. See, here we go. I told you guys. We warned you, chat. We warned you. That was PS5. Now we got to talk about it.
I had to talk. I had to mention that because we talked about that with Xbox controllers last week.
I think it's weird because I've heard nothing but good things about Astro Playroom. Like, I mean, the fact that I mean, maybe
it was free.
Right.
It was free.
Okay, but how many fucking shitty things did we hear about the free games on Xbox? Like, I mean, I just feel like.
Well, that's because it's Xbox.
But I mean, Wilmy loved Astro Playroom. Like, he loved it. Like, he could not fucking get enough of it. So I feel like I've heard so many good things about it. I don't know.
I think it just depends on who it's for. I just felt like I was playing like a gimmick to me.
Yeah.
Right.
It was
like,
just
now
game for your controller. Felt like.
Right. If for like other people, maybe they really like it, but like I just didn't see like the actual game in there. To me, it felt like I was just walking around doing things that it was telling me to with the controller.
Did you play it like co-op?
No.
Or solo? Okay.
I was playing solo.
Maybe that's why, because most of the people who I've heard that have had a really good time.
Yeah, I'm willing to play it with people. I don't have any friends on PlayStation. So if anybody wants to,
you have a wife. I don't know if you know this, but she's down there and she's like super hot. Like, I bet she would sit co-op next to you and play some fucking Astro Playroom and blow on the controller and shit. Like she'd love it.
We can make room right here.
I can play with you and blow.
Yeah.
She'll play with you and blow on your controller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That.
Do you have two controllers?
No, we need to buy.
Oh yeah. One. Yeah, that's a fucking shitty thing because. Fucking they're like $70 the whole fucking game. What the fuck?
Crazy.
And we can't use DualShock 4 on it either, right?
No, because it's too far advanced. The PS DualSense.
They believe in generations.
Right. Okay. So Chris Jones with a $5 super chat. So shout out to my favorite people. You're all amazing. Also, go read Cloud's article. It's great. Yeah, dude, 100%. Cloud is great, guys. Check out his article. I'm not trying to shit on the PS5. I love Miles Morales.
I'm not
Great
trying to be a
game.
fangirl for the PS5. I've never even played it. I'm just
No,
trying to be the devil's advocate here, guys.
Yeah.
And
Well,
also, Ratchet seemed like it's going to be really fun. Yeah. So
Doesn't sound like it was
See,
worth
my
the
bro-
money.
See, my
me.
brother, he has a PS5 too, and he turned off the adaptive triggers as well and the haptic feedback. And he was just like, when he was playing Call of Duty, he's like, I did not like having my gun, fighting against my controller to shoot my gun. He's like, I didn't like that aspect.
yeah, and the controller's great. Like I actually fucking love this controller. Right?
Closest
I'm
thing to an
not
Xbox
complaining
controller.
against the controller. In fact, like this whole touchpad, the thing here, the sensor thing, I love this too. Like I wish like that's something I could get behind, like Xbox doing something where you have like the swipe controls in some games and the menus and stuff like that. I like that on the last controller they had too. And
Does
it
it
just
Nobody ever used it.
small?
Devs
It's
never
good.
used it.
It's the same size as the old
That's
one,
true.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the
I
swipe
never
too.
hated this. I
Yeah,
never liked the
I like the
size of the
swipe.
PlayStation controllers.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
this is
Man
way better.
And
for
it's
my
heavier.
hands.
It's got weight to it too,
Yeah.
which is nice compared to the.
But the
dual.
haptics I just
dock.
feel like is gimmicky. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. I thought it was going to be like, oh wow, this feels crazy because of what everybody's been saying, right? But for me, it's just a distraction.
Did more games use that swipe function? Because I knew,
Yeah.
I think on Spider-Man was one, and Ghost of Tsushima were like really the only ones.
Yeah,
that
but I really like it in both of
utilized
those games.
Yeah. Yeah, no, when it's used, I loved
Yeah.
it. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
just the devs didn't take advantage. But for like menus and stuff or quick access to things, oh man, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. I wanted to get into Deadspace because we have all been seeing like these rumors and stuff and talk about, hey, Dead Space is coming back. They're going to be working on a new Dead Space game. They're going to be bring it back as like a remaster or whatever. But this turns out this is like a full-on remake or reboot of the franchise. And this is pretty freaking awesome because for me personally, Dead Space is one that I just kind of missed out on. Right? Everybody has
Me too.
that one franchise, right? It's like everybody's like, oh yeah, this is one of my favorite franchises of all time. And then I'm like, man, I never played it. You know, like it's just, it bypassed me somehow. I just never got into it, you know? And to have a reboot is very interesting now because I can go and experience it in a new way and then find appreciation for that and then maybe go back and play the old ones. But this has a chance to get me excited for the new game. So anybody else excited for Dead Space? Is Lady? Yeah.
I'm with you because it was one of those ones that I haven't picked up yet. I haven't played through, and it's like constantly like people saying you need to play Dead Space. Like I feel like I have a lot of those bigger franchises that I never really played. I didn't play Mass Effect really personally. I didn't play Dead Space. I didn't play Uncharted. Like there's these like big like franchises out there that I just haven't touched, and Dead Space has always been up there for me, and I'm excited to finally like get to go back and do it. And the fact that it's going to be like remastered from the ground up is just huge. It's huge news. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I played Dead Space back on the 360. I got to a point and then my ex decided to take the disc and break it because she got mad at me. So I couldn't finish it. So
Oh, psycho.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well, that's why she's my ex. But anyway, I can't wait. So, you know, hearing that they were making a remake and finally I'll be able to get back and finish the experience. I am psyched as hell. I can't wait. The little bit that, you know, that little teaser that we saw, it just gave me goosebumps. I was like, oh, yes, please. So, yeah. I don't know. Did you see the trailer? Anyone else?
I saw the trailer.
I saw
haven't
the
played
trailer.
game, but I saw the trailer and I'm really looking forward to this new reboot that they've got going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
it
saw
looked
the
really good.
trailer, but I've never played it.
Did you play?
it's-
Do you
it's
like horror
scary.
games, Lupa? Would you play
Yeah,
that?
I love horror games, but I don't know. I just bypassed Dead Space earlier on in the generation, so it wasn't for me. Well, I didn't think it was for me at the time because I'm not into space stuff very much. But like, I don't know. I think people are getting too used to these remakes and remasters. Let's have some new games, some new innovation, and stop keep giving us secondhand games.
Yeah,
Then on
no,
the
this
other
is fine.
I
hand,
still
hang on,
feel
No,
with
I
on
you.
the
like
other
remakes.
hand, I haven't
like it.
finished. On the other hand, I also think that it's good for new generations to be able to play these games and learn what got us to love games. So there's two different options to choose from.
I'm totally with you. I love new IPs. I fucking love new IPs. I love new innovation. I love these things. If the EA showcase had been just Battlefield and just the remake of Dead Space without that I can't even fucking, I've already lost the name of it, the dice game. I'm just gonna keep calling it the dice game. I'm gonna
Just
keep
call it
calling it
Lost.
the dice
That's what
game.
I keep doing.
Call it Lost.
It's
Lost,
lost
okay,
in
yeah.
it's lost in
Lost
random.
in-
Or it's
Yes, lost in random.
wasn't
Like
it? Yeah.
because I know that at least EA as like the top publisher, they're at least promoting these smaller games. And EA did just come out with It Takes Two, which is also another fucking fantastic new IP. So I know they're putting their stuff there, and then the fact that they're also going back and taking these games like Mass Effect and Dead Space and giving it love, and not just like a remaster like they did with like KOA, Kingdoms of Amalur. Like that was fucking bullshit. Like that wasn't, that was shitty.
That was
like
ridiculous.
that was ridiculous. Like they're actually taking the time and they're rebuilding these franchises that not all of us did get to play. I mean, look at how many of us are here played it and how many of us didn't. Like it's half and half. Like that's how little it was, but that's how like hardcore cult culture it is. So I just think that there's certain games that they can put these like remasters into that it works. I get more upset when I'm seeing like fucking the 19th fucking Ratchet and Clank or the 15th year of Assassin's Creed. That's when I'm like, okay, look it, we've played this game. Let's do something new. So that's more.
But it's
where
been
I
enough
start to get more upset.
And it's been enough time. It's been 13 years since the game came out.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be at least 15, 16 years since the last anyone has played it. So people that haven't played on an Xbox 360 and started gaming in the Xbox One generation, PS4 generation, and they have only heard of Dead Space, it's great. So remakes are good.
Yeah, that's what I said basically.
As long as
exactly.
it just not overabundance of just remake, like kind of like last generation. It was like a lot of like towards the tail end of the generation was remakes after remakes after remakes. But with something like this, it feels like they're like building from the ground up and utilizing new tech and delivering that eerie feeling of this game. Like it scared the crap out of me. Like I had first time playing it, had the lights off. I was like, holy shit. I had turned the lights back on. I was like, okay, I'm not playing this in the dark. Fuck that.
Yeah. That's the kind of the experience I had with my brother when we played the first Resident Evil game, because it was like the first time we played it was on the PlayStation, and it was storming outside. It was nighttime, and me and my brother were in there, and it was dark, and we were playing Resident Evil. And remember when the dogs crashed through the window in the hallway? We both like just jumped and like were just scared. And there was another game back on PlayStation called Clock Tower.
Yep.
That was really hard.
That was ridiculously
that
scary.
was so hard to get through. Oh my gosh, and we played that together as well. But there's like, then when you see Resident Evil, right, and what they're able to do with the remakes, right, with Resident Evil 2 from Capcom, and that gives you an idea, I think, of what we can hope for with some of these remakes, to where you bring it into a new generation, but also keep that spirit alive from the original games. Because some of them do feel dated. They feel like sluggish, right? They feel like the controls are kind of like wonky, you know what I mean? And it takes a lot of work to kind of get that out of the system, to get that out of the games. And sometimes instead of just remastering, rebooting or remaking is maybe the right way to do it. And Now it had me thinking though, like, I'm super excited about this, but is there something else? Like, what's the next one? Because Dead Space was one of the most requested, right? We've gotten some Resident Evils, we gotten Dead Space. What's the next big request now? Mass Effect was one, right? For like a remake, or I'm talking about now full on remakes, like screw remasters.
Yeah.
Let's just reboot a franchise. What's the number one request?
I think we all can agree. Splinter Cell.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the easiest one.
That one has been on everyone's freaking mind for it's been so long. And a remake of the very first one that we had experience on the OG Xbox. Holy crap. I would love a total remake of that game, because that would just blow everyone's mind.
Yeah.
And the internet will literally freaking melt, and everyone will freaking lose their minds, and it'll be the only thing being talked about. And that's,
I mean,
Yeah.
mine is Fable, but the older ones, and completely remake them and make them better. But obviously a new Fable's coming out. But I think also these games, like with Dead Space, they're like fillers, because most of their team is working on a new game or something that they're working on, and it's like a filler to keep everybody going until the next big game comes out.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, but I kind of like that also, right? So it's like,
yeah, it's good.
It gives us just more things to kind of have fun with.
Yeah, but I mean, I would like to see the first 2-3 Fables remade, and they would be. I think they would be.
They're
really
such classics that if you did
Yeah.
put forth the effort to, because they do feel a little dated with the controls and stuff.
Exactly.
That
yeah.
it could.
And
they
also,
could make them way
it's
better.
not a franchise, but I would really love, it's just a Sunset Overdrive to be remade,
Oh, yeah.
or a new one at least, because
we're gonna get a new one, I bet, but it's gonna be PlayStation exclusive. So
this is the problem.
But that's okay. Like, I'll play it on my PlayStation. Like, that's
I think
I have a theory about that. I think that's why Drew Murray went back to Insomniac, because they have the Sunset Overdrive IP, and I think they talked him into it because that's his franchise. He was a creative director on Sunset Overdrive. It was kind of his baby. It was his passion project. And when they gave him the opportunity to go back there and head up Sunset Overdrive 2, I think it was too much of an opportunity for him to pass up to work on the project that he loves the most. Because coming into Xbox, may not even known what he was going to be working on 100%, but this was his creation from Insomniac, right? So it's kind of like, hey, go back to what your own creation in a way. I think that was kind of too much for him to pass up on.
Well, they brought him in to get the company where they needed to be. So whatever he was doing, he got to a point where it's like he can't do anymore. And then Insomniac came back and was like, hey, we're thinking about probably making a sequel to Sunset Overdrive if you want to jump on. And he was like, for him, he was like, yeah, that's my game. Like you said, that's his baby. So, we all enjoyed the first Sunset Overdrive. Would love to get, a remake, or at least a 60 FPS boost on it. And, for at least the Xbox guys that won't, we're not going to be able to experience Sunset Overdrive 2 because, it's going to be in a PlayStation exclusive, but it'd be nice.
Yeah, but like, couldn't Xbox Studios make a very similar game but not call it Sunset Overdrive?
They could, but it would be
possible.
it's like it was Insomniac's creation, so I don't know. Like, they tried to do that with Crackdown, where you have other people make it, but it just never really lived up to the original vision, because sometimes you need that original vision. That's one thing we're gonna have to learn. Is Fable, is Playground going to be able to replicate the magic that Lionhead, because that was definitely a Lionhead creation.
I think so.
I think so too.
I think so, without a doubt, and especially if they're going to implement what they've implemented into Forza, you know, it's going to be an awesome world to be in for sure.
Pong, give me a game, bro.
Well, if we're sticking with EA, since they're all about this business, I would definitely say Need for Speed Underground has got to make a comeback. It's time. So it's been far too long, and I think that was the best for me personally. I know there's some, some discussion to be had there, but I think Need for Speed Underground 2 was probably my favorite out of the entire series. So I'd love to see that make a comeback.
Wanted.
Yeah, and that's fair. Again, I would not have a problem with either one of them at all. So I just think they need to get back to that. If we're going outside of EA, Mike Lowry hit it on the nose. I was going to bring it up. It just celebrated an anniversary, the 20th anniversary, I think. Max Payne. Yeah, Max Payne. Absolutely unique at the time.
Awesome game.
Just, I mean, bullet time still is underused in video games, which is crazy.
Who would you want to make it? Remedy or Rockstar?
I love that in Sniper Elite.
That's
awesomeness.
I mean, with everything that Remedy's got on its plate, if I want to see it in the next decade, then I would have to say Rockstar.
Does Rockstar own the IP now, or is Remedy?
Yes.
Okay.
Rockstar owns the IP. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd say Rockstar. So,
but I think didn't they get with Remedy to make the Max? Like they had some kind of So they have an interesting thing going on there. Boogie, what's the game, man?
Oh, I've got a laundry list I'd personally like to see. The Suffering and PsyOps would be on that list. I also agree with the Max Payne and Need for Speed Underground 2. Definitely my favorite Need for Speed. I saw somebody in the chat say Mercenaries. I don't know if I necessarily want a remake of that, but I do want Mercenaries 2 on back compat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Fear would be a good one.
Fear would be.
That was
Fear. I saw that in chat. That was a good one.
Fear 2 was absolutely incredible. And that's my favorite one, Fear 2. When you're walking in that school and this Alma just pops up randomly, and you could have different playthroughs and it's different times and places. So it catches you off guard. It's absolutely crazy. That's a great franchise.
Yep.
Gone. Lady, do you have one?
I am trying to think of something that I want to see completely remade. That's hard. I mean, I would love to see new Alice games.
And
a remake of that.
Freaking loved Alice.
I can't think of anything that hasn't been remade already. I feel like we're getting to the bottom of the bucket on remakes here, guys.
Well, there's remasters and remakes. So when I think of a remake or reboot, I guess I should say.
Yeah, bottom up.
Dead franchises that need to be brought back with a new game, kind of.
I want to say this game franchise, but I know it's been tried. They've tried to bring it back multiple times and it just hasn't hit off. Actually, there's two of them. The first one would be Duke Nukem. A new I know Kate's with me with this because that was a childhood Duke Nukem 64. That's a childhood game for mine. That was one of my first local co-op shooter type of games alongside GoldenEye and stuff like that. So it's just those are big for me. Duke Nukem's just a big one. I'd love to see that come back. And then the other one would be Twisted Metal. I think a Twisted Metal would do so good right now with online where it's at. So
Twisted Metal and Road Rash would be freaking phenomenal.
What was the other Vigilante?
I'm here to
Vigilante
chew bubble gum and kick some ass.
Yeah.
Can I put one in?
Go ahead.
For our 3-bit, please? We need Bully 2.
Oh yeah.
3-bit.
I should have brought Bully up.
If he was here, he would be kicking off about it. So I thought I better bring it up.
Yeah, that's his favorite. It may be his favorite game. I think.
I mention it anytime anybody brings it up on Twitter. What game do you want to see? A new game. I'm Bully, just so 3-bit shuts up about it.
Yeah, that's what he thinks. And I thought it was trash. But each to their own.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, he also thinks Sonic Adventure 2 is better than old school 2D Sonic. So
it is. It is. He's right.
That's not. It's so not. Hey babe, do you have a game or two that you want to see brought back from the grave?
Yeah, the first one would be Burnout.
Oh, I loved Burnout.
I loved the the mode where you try and destruct everything.
Yeah, along the motorway. It was awesome.
It was really fun. And the second one is, I don't remember the name of it. It's that one with the tree of life that I always can never remember. Shadowrun.
Shadowrun FPS. Yeah.
No, I have another one.
Okay, let's just keep this going, bro, because I got a few too.
So the one that classic JRPG guys would love is a Breath of Fire series remake. That would be phenomenal.
I have one now.
Oh
now that we're talking JRPGs, I'm like, wait, I have another one.
I bought the PS1 version for when I had my PSP. They had Breath of Fire 4. Love that game. If you have not played it, phenomenal game. It's the only reason why I had a PS1, and that's the only game I was playing other than Twisted Metal on my PS1. It was Breath of Fire 4 and Twisted Metal. That was it. Those are the games I only played on my PS1.
Right on. Okay, lady, you had another one?
Okay, so do you guys remember Lupa?
Ooh, no.
No, okay. So that would be one that I would love to see come back. That was like a kind of Final Fantasy, like JRPG thing.
Which
on
one?
The Nintendo. Lupa?
Yes. Was that Super NES?
Yeah, Super NES, and they had one on. Well, they had one. I think they had one on. No, it was Super. Maybe both of them were on the Super NES. I thought the first one was on the NES, but I could be wrong. Yep. But I know those were some of my very first like RPG games ever, and I think that I would love to see like some kind of like touch base back into that universe, just because I loved it so much when I was a kid.
I got another one. Since we're on this RPG kick, Chrono Trigger. Can we get a Chrono Trigger?
Oh, of course.
We get Chrono Triggers all the time. What do you mean?
A remake, though. Come on.
Oh, okay.
A remake.
Wants Lost Odyssey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lost Odyssey.
Yeah. We need a sequel to that and Blue Dragon.
Yeah. I actually watched the anime the other day.
Did you?
Cameo said Outriders, reboot Outriders.
I mean, I don't trust Nintendo to do good remakes though, like lady was saying, because like what they did with Mario All-Stars was tragic.
Well, they don't do
that,
nothing.
dude. Their ports
that's
are
a
just
port. That's not a remake.
That's not good. It's the same
I mean.
thing with Zelda.
Yeah.
Like we can like touch on this fucking like remake touch right now, because the new Zelda fucking Skyward Sword just came out.
Yeah.
And it is such a poorly made fucking remaster, remake, whatever you want to call it, Nintendo.
$60.
Like it's not even running as good as it did.
60, it's running
like,
at 60.
That's
FPS.
how bad it is. Like
better.
Oh, it is better. I heard that it was. I heard people were saying that it was running.
Yes, some
worse.
people were hating on it, but I've played it. It is better, and they go by the damn graphics, and the graphics are meant to look like painted.
Yes,
like
because it's fucking.
Exactly. So, yeah. And they go by that, and that's not what you should go by. They've made the controls so much better. It's running at 60 FPS, no problem. And it's just all round much better. And they've got little bits of better life.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me pick it up, so don't stop.
I bought it, and
please, I can't do it.
It is much better, and the control on the bird, the control falling out the sky.
I fucking stopped playing it. I stopped playing it.
I completed it 10 years ago, and I'm gonna complete it again, because it's where Zelda really, you get all the backstory and everything, where it came from and how it works.
I just wish it wasn't $60. I would pick it up if it was 40.
Yeah, but you know, Nintendo, they got to get your last cent out.
It's just like I can't pay $60 for like for that.
It won't drop in price. That's the trouble with Nintendo.
I know.
You might get it in a sale. The best way to buy games on Nintendo is if you buy the 2 vouchers, you can get 3 games with them, or maybe 2, depending on the price of them. And that's what I did last time. So I ended up like, I don't know what it was I paid now. I can't remember. Like I paid something like 80 and I got 120 quid's worth of games because of the 2 vouchers you buy that are in the online thing. I've forgotten how it works now, but it's definitely a cheaper way to do it than buy the games outright.
Well, I have some games I want to roll through here, and I've just been typing some up so I don't miss any because they keep popping in my head. All right.
So why do you get more than anybody else?
You guys can spit. We can keep this going all night. I love this shit. Right? Like,
I got
we will.
I
we
did
will,
too.
because I just got a couple more.
Okay.
I just
let me go
love
first.
talking video games. Like I
know.
prefer to talk video games all the time over
Yeah, me too.
all the other shit.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
my number one, now we recently got a remaster of the originals of this franchise, but it's a remaster. I want a reboot, brand new, huge game on all platforms available for me to play and enjoy, and that is Command and Conquer.
Of course.
EA
yes.
has destroyed this franchise.
It reminds me of Conkers.
It is it is the father of RTS games. It was the biggest RTS franchise out there. EA acquired Westwood Online, Westwood Studios, all that stuff. Command and Conquer. They came out with a few more during that time period, and all we've gotten recently is a mobile game. We got a remaster of the originals, which is a pretty good remaster, but it's also only on PC. And then we also have gotten what Command & Conquer 4 was, which was just a travesty, right? So bring back one of the biggest franchises in gaming history, and that was Command & Conquer. Now, next is something that I cannot believe I have not seen ever since I played this game back in PlayStation days on PS1, and that is Final Fantasy Tactics. I cannot believe we have not gotten a formal actual sequel to one of the best RPGs ever made, best tactics game potentially ever made as well. Absolute gold classic of a game, and it deserves more than this mobile treatment that it has now, living with the expanded mobile version of that game. Another one, F-Zero. Where the fuck has F-Zero gone? Like, that's Nintendo's actual racing franchise, right? Besides Mario Kart, right? Like, why not like have a new F-Zero game come out? Marvel vs. Capcom.
What is F-Zero?
F-Zero it's kind of like an arcade racer. It's very spacey. You kind of have like your vehicles kind of hover a little bit above the track, and like it's a really fun game. It was played it dating back to the SNES. Is that when the first one was on SNES or
yep.
on NES? Yeah, SNES. Yeah,
SNES. I'm pretty sure.
Just a great game. Marvel vs. Capcom, they need to work that out and just keep coming out with games. The last one was a letdown a little bit for the franchise, but Marvel vs. Capcom, one of the best fighting franchises ever. Infamous was another great franchise I love that I don't want to see die, and I think it may be headed that way. So let's have some more Infamous games. PGR.
Yeah, that won't happen.
I want to earn some kudos, bro. Let's get some kudos going. Crimson Skies. Mech Assault.
Okay, Crimson Skies, yes. Like that I could.
Okay, so this is the only one that intrigues you out of my list. All right, so Crimson Skies, Mech Assault, ChromeHounds. Never got to do it deserved. ChromeHounds is maybe one of the best mech games of the 360 era. It may be the best mech game of the 360 era. If people shit on it with reviews because it didn't have a traditional campaign. Ridge Racer. I want to see it rebooted. If that has a name, it can be rebooted and brought back. And then Street Fighter. I feel like Street Fighter's dead right now.
Kind of feels that way.
It exists in like esports, but they brought out Street Fighter 5 early in the PS4 generation, right? And it didn't do so well, and then they've updated it and stuff, but we haven't heard anything more since then. I want how about just make the next one Street Fighter, reboot it, right? Let's get back to the roots. Okay. I know you guys want to have some, so.
Yeah. I got one.
Yeah, go ahead, Lupa.
The new Prince of Persia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of did with the last 360 game. That was
still
pretty good.
so long ago. I like
Yeah, but that's
if you
still a
could
long
keep
time.
remaking Sands of Time, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
But
Just every 10
I
years,
think-
just remake that same
But I
game.
want it with like this gen's tech and mechanics, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I want it like updated for this gen. It was such an awesome game.
yeah. But they took Prince of Persia and made it into Assassin's Creed.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
And
like
then-
I would
and
like to
then
see
they-
the first
Assassin's Creed
remake,
just took off.
remastered
Assassin's
one.
Creed took off, so that's why they put Persia on the back.
Now
burner.
we're on the 15th Assassin's Creed.
Didn't they announce a remake of
I
Prince, of
don't
Prince of
care.
Persia at one
I
point,
like
and
them.
then
They're all
they
different.
Yeah.
pulled it?
Yeah.
Remastered.
Yeah, it's been delayed again.
Thing.
Yeah.
It
That-
looks
that-
horrible.
It's being made by a mobile company.
Yeah, that
that's
looked
gonna
like
be great.
the
Yeah.
difference of the freaking remake to what it was. Hardly any difference to the character. It just looked like trash. And they're like, oh, we're gonna delay it.
I wouldn't be
indefinitely.
surprised if that gets completely
Unity was
scrapped and
awesome.
restarted, because that was the travesty what they revealed at that event, and they acted
was
excited
awful.
about it.
Yeah.
And I felt bad
Jasper
for the
said-
lady that was behind it. Like they had this lady that was like the head of the studio, that was like her passion project, and like was really behind making this game, and they brought her up to talk about it, and I was like, okay, like where's this going? And then they show the game, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
The Prince of
Yeah.
Persia shit? Is
Yeah.
that what we're
Yeah.
talking about? Oh
Mhm.
my god.
Yeah,
I
awful.
honestly, it was hard for me not to laugh at that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Jasper says that it was they are remaking Prince of Persia. It was
They
delayed
are.
through to 2022.
Yeah.
yeah,
it
that's
looks
what
like
we're
they
talking
are,
about.
but it's- yeah.
They're
It
remaking
It
does.
looks
it.
like
Yeah, but I
looks
thought
just-
it was. I thought
trash.
it'd been done and was brought out ages ago.
No.
So I got lost
No.
there. a bit.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no,
they're
no, no,
remaking
no.
it, and then they got so much horrible feedback because everybody in the fucking community laughed at them, and
Oh.
they were like,
looked
"Okay,
bad,
we're
Lupa.
going to restart this.
this is their
because we're
first
Ubisoft
big
and this is
title."
what we do."
But the devs are this whole dev team was normally making mobile games
Yeah.
until they were handed this. And like
Mhm.
the first showing, like Lady just said, was I mean,
It
I'm not
wasn't
even a
good.
Prince of Persia fan. And I was like, oh God.
It
yeah,
was
no.
Yeah.
bad.
you
Like
can't
it
do
was,
It was
bad.
horrible.
Yeah.
It was not good. There was nothing about
Oh,
that that
bless
was
them.
like, this is stellar. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
we'll give them
wasn't-
another chance though.
Well, yeah, no, it's been delayed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It has such a huge fan base and such a
It
huge like
has.
cult following that even if they released it looking like they did Kingdom of Amalur, it's gonna fucking sell. So
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean,
is
Psycho's
what it
right.
is.
It was the lead up to Assassin's Creed, and then it was
Yeah.
saying everybody was saying it was going to be ditched because it's the same as Assassin's Creed. I don't believe it is. It's a completely different thing altogether.
Yeah.
It is. It is different.
It-
It's just that
yeah,
they use this. What
Similar
they pretty much
tactics. Yeah.
they brought out that remake, that cell animation Prince of Persia, and I think that was the stepping stone of their wall climbing and everything for Assassin's Creed. So that's what
Yeah.
they did with this game, and it was popular enough. Then they were like, okay, let's do it for Creed. So and then they just got so deep into Assassin's Creed, they forgot, like, oh shit, we need to go back and bring this out. And then that what we did see of that remake of the first one was just like, are you kidding me? This is
Yeah.
a joke, right?
Prince
like-
of Persia
get
is
that.
really just Aladdin NES like remade.
But
I
I
think
mean,
about
I think like with Assassin's Creed, everybody goes on, oh, we're on number 15, 16, 17, whatever. But each and every one of them was different. Yeah, you had a similar mechanic with the actual assassin, but each assassin was different, and each each area you went in, you learned the history of that place, which I use to show my kids and teach my kids stuff. So I think it's a good franchise. I think that it can be better. Of course, everything can always be better,
Well, yeah.
Absolutely.
but it doesn't mean that it's a bad series because everybody thinks they're the same. They're not the same.
It's
and the
Assassin's
way they
Creed is
changed
definitely
them up
No,
now-
I
not a
think
bad
it's totally
series.
different. They're
Yeah.
totally different. To me,
Yeah.
like Prince of Persia, like I mean, it led the way to Assassin's Creed, but there's so many other games like that who have like opened the gates for other
Mhm.
games. So I mean,
Yeah,
I'm totally
exactly.
with you.
But
Totally
also
with
the
you
other
on that.
thing is that people don't get, and they're not gonna I'll probably upset a few people when I say this, but I don't like Valhalla.
You know,
At all.
I had loved
Me
the
too.
premise, and
I
I
love the
loved
premise.
what I wanted in retrospect Ubisoft to do, which I think that they should have just done, is make an open world Viking game and give me Valhalla without any of the assassin nonsense in the background, because it would have been an amazing game, because like I kept veering away from anything that had to do with the actual assassin like stuff, because it was just out of it was the same with Black Flag. Like Black Flag was like the pirate game of the fucking century, but they threw in the Assassin's Creed shit, which was good and all. It's my favorite. Yeah. It's my favorite Assassin's Creed, like, because like I mean I had the most fun with it, but I feel like if Ubisoft had just dropped that and gave us a Viking game and didn't rely on the Assassin's Creed title to sell it, it would have done just as well.
Yeah, I think so. That would have been your Skull and Bones without the Assassin title, basically.
Well, like, I mean, that's what Black Flag was supposed to be. I mean, that is what the devs at Ubisoft want. I know that there's a team there that are so passionate about Skull and Bones. They want it to be what they imagined when they pitched it, which is basically Black Flag, open world, pirate game, single player RPG without Assassin's Creed. Like they want that. They see the lacking in pirate stuff in the gaming community and where it can go.
I think it's changing to like a free to play games as service.
Yes, and then the higher ups came in and they said, no, we need monetization. Like we need all
games
like,
need to be completely focused around the monetization model now at Ubisoft.
Yes, it's stupid. And so the devs that I mean, and I'm not saying that I know this, but I know the devs wanted they want this game and they fought for it. So, and I think that's what's really happening behind the scenes is that these devs are so passionate about what they want to give that this game has changed now 3 times because there's so much pushback. Like, no, that's not what we want. That's not what this game is going to be. So I feel like Ubisoft in those, creative teams, they're pushing back against those upper hands, and they're telling them like, no, this is what the gamers want. They don't want a fucking Sea of Thieves.
Props to the devs for trying to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I mean, when you're not a creatively led studio, but you're full of creative talent, there's, it's a problem.
It's putting a lid on a candle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's putting a lid on a candle.
The creators know what the gamers want because they are the gamers. They're not balancing the checkbooks, right? Now, is there a need to be some balance? Of course, there is with every business, but like Ubisoft especially is like really guilty of this. Oh, even if you listen to the interviews that their CEO has had with like Ryan McCaffrey and other people, and the way they talk about the decisions in which games get made and how they get made is pretty lame. And it goes to see that this problem hasn't gotten better. It's actually gotten worse over the last generation, where as the last earnings call, they had said all of their games are going to this model now. And then they clarify, not all of them, right? But then we see Assassin's Creed. Now it's Assassin's Creed Infinity.
What is that?
And then now we see Skull and Bones is being potentially done like this. And
no, Skull and Bones was potentially being done like that the second time. Now it's back on track for what it was supposed to be originally.
I hope so.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
That's now for me personally.
I've kept up with that.
Me personally, with Skull and Bones, that if they want to add monetization to the game, all they need to do is just have like sales, crew members, outfits, and different. If they want to do monetization,
Black Flag.
Give us Black Flag.
Give us.
And if you want monetization, give like outfits and like sales.
I won't lie.
Have a mode in the game.
I fucking put so much money in Black Flag. I bought all the wood to build up my boat so I can kick all of the fucking ship's asses like right off of the bat. Because
and do it like that, which is not. You still get the monetization, but you're still giving us a game that we were excited when we heard that the game was going to be like Black Flag. minus Assassin's Creed, and it's going to be a pirate game, and that's what we got excited. And they're like, oh, then we can make this a monetization, free-to-play game, and make it like a battle royale. And we're like, what the?
But don't
fuck is
They
forget,
this?
think that they need multiplayer. They think
Yeah.
they need multiplayer to make
Yes.
money,
X-Defiant.
and I don't see that.
But
Heartland.
they do make money out of Assassin's Creed in
Dude,
the Helix
Heartland's
stores.
gonna be good. I'm sorry.
It
but
is.
Heartland's
All
gonna
of
be
these
need
games
to
are going to
make-
be good.
They want to make more money,
That's
and
what
that's what's
sucks.
annoying. But
It's
it
like-
won't be like people think it's going to be. It's not going to be like a battle royale bloody
No, it's
service
a
thing.
X
It's
Defiance
going
and
to
Arena
be
Shooter.
all of the worlds from Assassin's Creed in one big map, and then you would go to each one.
I don't know,
Like,
Lupa, because
I don't think the multiplayer
Oh.
thing isn't a go.
as
No.
far as things that potentially rumblings have been out there from some people that have maybe heard things, it's looking
maybe.
like the opposite, unfortunately.
No,
but
but
we'll see.
I think you need to listen to me because that's not happening.
Well, they,
Because you can't really do a multiplayer Assassin's Creed that works. They've tried.
yeah.
well,
Oh, are we
they don't
talking
care.
about Assassin's Creed like fucking
Infinity.
Infinity, whatever they're calling
Infinity,
it? Like
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
I honestly like they told me about it and I fucking put my blinders on. I'm like, I don't even
Yeah.
want to fucking see
I
that
don't
bullshit.
think that. I don't.
That's a
think
cancer in the Assassin's
it's
Creed
still-
universe. Take it away.
But they're still not going to stop making Assassin's Creed because there is monetary in it. You go to the
Not-
Helix store, you buy Helix credits, and then you go to
Yeah,
buy the
but-
outfits with the ship outfits, the ship sets, and the
That
armor
shit.
sets, and the weapons and everything. So
Yeah,
that's
but-
all there. You can choose not to do it because
Yeah.
the good thing about Assassin's Creed is you don't have to buy a single one of them because you will get them in game the more you play. But
Yeah,
the
but
reason
they-
I don't like Valhalla is because it's deep and dark and depressing, whereas
like
Odyssey
that
was so
part,
light and
but-
high and
No,
nice.
I like the deep and dark, but the thing with the
Yeah, but
Assassin's
it's
Creed
really
multiplayer
depressing.
game, what they're trying to monetize the hell out of you with this multiplayer aspect, and it's gonna be you're gonna be so upset with what this game is gonna be, Lupa, that you're not gonna want to touch Assassin's Creed anymore. That's how this is gonna be, and they're gonna go away from the single player Assassin's Creed because if this game, if it does have an impact on the community, and if it does do somewhat well, and that's it, you probably won't see a single player Assassin's Creed. They're gonna do this and drive this until it freaking they can't milk it anymore.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
I know
The
you
two
don't see it.
Studios that are working on it hate each other for a start. That's
Yeah,
one
but-
thing why it won't work.
It's
A
hard for
second-
me as somebody who kind of has a friendship with some of those Assassin's Creed devs to like imagine that they're like, this is cool.
They're not
Yeah.
happy.
Fuck.
Yeah.
They're not
I
happy.
can
at all.
honestly say, as an Assassin's Creed fan, if they go to that monetized model and that's what they choose to like push forward from here on out, they've lost my dollar.
Yeah,
That's what the
will
high
have-
ups don't
will
understand.
have lost me. I've played
know.
Assassin's Creed from before number 1, basically, and I've played all of the little 2D side scroller ones as well. I've played all of them, and I can't see how they're making money off Assassin's Creed every single game. It hit
Yeah,
number 3
but not
after
enough.
COD and something else I've forgotten now in the
Ubisoft makes
all-time
money
bestseller
off of
chart for
every
Ubisoft.
game.
And the
Yeah.
fact is they make a lot of money out of those games because people can't bear not to have the best armor outfits and the best
Mhm.
weapons.
And they don't need to hide behind their damn titles.
No, of course not. But like what they did with Odyssey, I think was an absolute hit. The fighting mechanics were good, the places you went, the history you learned, it was all good. But more importantly, the first DLC wasn't brilliant, but the ones after that, the other two, were amazing, right? Then they changed it up again for Valhalla. Now you're waiting great big long lengths of time in between one DLC and the other with nothing to do. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
why have you gone back to that when what it worked with Odyssey? I don't get it.
Well, they've gotten like kind of less focused on each game with the experience as well, and more open and more bigger.
I agree,
Yeah,
Mike.
we
You
need
know?
all of these things. We need all of it. Put it
Snakewood.
all
Yeah.
in there.
I
Yeah,
want
I
to get
mean,
to
I
this
just-
super
I
chat real
just
quick,
so
if that's all right.
Pissed off by
No,
it.
absolutely not, Mav. Do it. Go for it.
Chris Jones was giving us his three games he wanted to be remade, and with a $5 super chat, Chris Jones says Suikoden, Shadow Hearts, and definitely Command and Conquer, all three in his top 5 of all time. That's a really cool list, man. I didn't want to not get that shout out, dude. I Command and Conquer 100%. I hope we get all 3 of them. But hey, so Ubisoft, like the other thing, okay, like we got potentially what Skull and Bones is going to be. We don't 100% know, but like if you guys are saying that, I'm hoping that's the case, right? Then we got X Defiant was announced, where they're bastardizing the Clancy brand.
Yeah, that's got away from Clancy so much. I'm not interested.
Splinter Cell agents, Echelon agents, like, you know, like what the fuck is that? You know, like it's not. This is not the Clancy brand, right? Like it's a cartoonization to go towards a different audience with the Clancy brand and hoping of making lots of money. Though it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be good, right? That's the worst thing.
They've got all of the agents in there, all of the different from every single game, Clancy game. They've got all of the like main people.
Yeah,
actors,
they got the
whatever,
wolves
in it.
from Ghost
That's
Recon.
what they're doing, right?
Yeah, they got the wolves from Ghost Recon. They got the outcasts and one of the other factions, the cleaners from Division. And then they got Echelon from Splinter Cell. And
They don't have Rikers?
No, it's those 4.
No, it was just the cleaners.
The cleaners and outcasts, and then the wolves from Ghost Recon and Echelon from Splinter Cell. And like it just doesn't freaking fit, man. Like if you grew up playing Clancy games, right? It stood for a certain thing, right?
Yeah.
Like like that name stood for a certain type of game. It was serious. It was tactical. It was methodical. Mm-hmm. It had story behind it as well. You felt like there's ramifications for your action. There's like all of these things, right? Now this is a way to make money without actually using the brand for what it is. And so I am like, I'm going to play it. I'm going to have fun with it. And I'm going to contribute to the ruining probably of the Clancy name, because it's going to be a fun game.
It looks fun.
It does. The worst thing is if this is successful, think of like, this is free to play. Think of all the kids, all the teenagers, all these people that are not super familiar with Clancy. They're going to get to play this. They're going to fall in love with it. And this is going to become Clancy brand.
So
right?
I wanted to bring up that same exact argument 5 minutes ago when we were talking about Assassin's Creed, because these big developers aren't thinking about us as Assassin's Creed fans.
No.
They're thinking about these fucking little chitlins who are playing fucking Fortnite and just fucking dipping money into like whatever. And they're like, oh, I want to play Assassin's Creed because now it's this fucking world where I'm paying money every month just to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's what they're thinking of. Like they're turning our beloved franchises into these money things. And I mean, we all saw it at E3 with the Volver's fucking show and the Monot Nation like fucking pushback. And like, it was fucking hilarious, but it was also like sickeningly true and saddening at the same time. Like, fuck, this is what video games is becoming. They have seen the money makers of the world.
Battle
Pass. But then you have
the 1% has seen it. They've seen where we're at as an industry. They've seen gaming. They know where we're at, and they are now taking advantage of it in the worst way.
The thing that makes it worse, lady, is that the games are still going to be good, right? Because they got
and
talented people working there.
Yes.
So it's like we're stuck in this loop, right?
And the sad thing about it is you can't speak with your dollar, because the kids are going to be outvoting you 10-1, because for every one of us there's like 20 kids out there that's like, oh, it's free to play, I'm jumping in. I don't care, $10 for this battle pass, I'll do that.
Yeah, whatever purple-haired streamer is gonna play it and get really popular.
Yeah.
I'm just
Nah.
I'm just saying.
It's
you know what I
true,
mean?
though.
It was
It's
true.
like
It
whatever,
was so true.
Whatever, like 18, 19-year-old streamer that's
It's
the hit right now on Twitch.
That have never played that thing.
like,
they've never played it, but
"Hey
now
guys,
it's their thing.
Come play X Defiant with me. It's gonna be a blast. We're gonna have fun. Yeah. We got fucking Echelon, man. I'm gonna rock Echelon. Hey, these are cool agents. Hey, they come from this old
Ooh,
thing
Sam.
back in the day called Splinter Cell. You ever hear of that
What's the
shit?
Sam?
I haven't, man. Yeah, let's fucking go. Woo. Yeah, fuck that shit.
You're not wrong.
And then we're all gonna be sitting there paying for the same shit, just
Yeah.
cursing under our breath, going fucking bullshit. Fucking
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
I don't
believe
want to
it.
pay for a fucking battle pass every few months. Ridiculous
And that just sucks.
bullshit.
I think that we're lucky enough to see the beginning of the gaming era, and like we know what it is
Mm.
and what it was. And I think that as we grow older, it's just going to be an ever evolving
Yeah.
monotonization, weird money making scheme of all of our most beloved franchises. So that's why I'm
And
like,
Ubisoft
I love
is the
indies.
worst culprit. Ubisoft is
Love
the
'em.
worst culprit
Yes.
with this because they've always
Yeah.
done like, okay, if it works for one thing, it's gonna work for everything.
It's
So
gonna
it's
work for
worked.
everything.
It worked for Rainbow,
And they're so
so
good
now it's
at
gonna
it.
work for everything,
Yeah.
right?
And
They're
they're,
so
and,
good
and
at
they're
it.
like, oh yeah, well, Towers works for Assassin's Creed, so we're going to put Towers in Ghost Recon. I mean,
And
for
in
shit-
Far Cry.
yeah, and then Far Cry, and
Yes.
yeah, we're going to get up in the trees now in these here like hunter posts. Oh my god,
Everybody likes to climb.
they're all just intermingling though. They're all becoming a bland one.
You know what this game is missing? It's missing an outpost that you need to climb and
Yeah.
reveal more of the map. We need to put that in there because that's what people play. That's what people
Yeah.
like. Make it more open.
And then Nintendo comes through with like fucking Zelda Breath of the Wild, and we're gonna put towers.
Yes, I wasn't.
Nintendo's mine.
I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you doing, Nintendo?
And then
For
Ubisoft
Christ's
sees
sake?
it. Zelda did something that was ours. Now let's do a
Yes.
Zelda. How about let's make
Yes.
Immortals Phoenix Rising, which is Zelda
Yes,
based on
Bingo.
Assassin's
And
Creed.
then-
And
And this is the
Bingo.
best thing
No,
we've
that
made
was
in
a
years.
perfect game. I love that
The
game though
best
because
thing
I
we've
love
made in
Zelda.
years.
So
It is
a
of
great
course I
game.
was gonna love Phoenix.
Two super chats to get to real quick. Chris Jones with the $2 super chat. He says, "Let 3-bit remake our games." I'll vote for that. And then Elk Dude with the $2 super chat. Amazing, bro. He says, "I'm flat broke, but I want to support my peeps, dude. Love you, Cam. You're fucking awesome." And
Thanks,
by the way,
Cam.
Cam has
My
a great
boyfriend from over the seas.
Cam has a great Series S video on his channel right now.
Yeah,
that's
he did. It
highlighting,
was awesome.
kind of like the facts about the Series S and with his experience from it, right? And absolutely great video.
It was good. It's the video I would have made if I did videos.
Yeah. Now we see like the contrast though. Ubisoft's doing that, but EA is giving us remakes, right?
Yeah.
And
which
they're
is
also
worse.
doing the Battlefield thing, and they're also doing like the worst thing possible with the Ultimate Team, right? Which is like the most corrupt thing in gaming, period. And then you also have like single player experiences as well, and you have like indie stuff, like from all these different devs and stuff. So ultimately, gaming overall, I think, is in a great place, but it just sucks to see one of the big publishers doing these things with like the brands that we are most familiar with.
Yeah, and
What's next?
the thing that I'm like, EA is kind of giving us like an all well-rounded experience with, here's some single player, here's some, monetization with the Madden games and whatnot. But they're listening to the public and the gamers, and they're trying to balance out, with the remakes and everything. But Ubisoft is just like, they just got their freaking, they're not listening to anybody, and they're like, you know what, we know best. Let's do this with Assassin's Creed. Let's do this with like X Defiant. And what they thought they were going to give us with Skull and Bones, and then at least the devs spoke up and like, listen, you're gonna bring out a dead game before it's even launched. All that money that you put into this is gonna be dead. It's gonna be lost. So don't even do it. And luckily, now the third time they're remaking this game, we're possibly going to get the original idea, and hopefully they execute it. And if they do, and it's a hit, that let's hope that speaks volumes to the higher ups, and they see it, and we'll see it.
Hey,
Yeah,
Papa,
but like you say,
anything?
it's not the devs, it's the
it's the higher
bloody
ups,
rich fuckers at the top.
That's why I like the studios like Bethesda's and MX and stuff that have creatives at the peak, right? Pong, thoughts?
No, I just love everybody talking about this. I think it's fantastic listening to all of you. Again, being one of the older panel members, I have seen so many things destroyed in my lifetime that I loved. That honestly, for me,
the only one.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm older than you.
That's what I'm saying, Lupa. I said one of the older panel members here.
No, I've just you're close to me, mate.
I've just seen so many things destroyed that I love that anymore. I just don't care. You know, honestly, these companies are going to do what they're going to do. It's business at the end of the day. I personally don't have a problem with the free-to-play system as long as it's quality. Again, it gives me the option to invest what I want to invest in the game. I understand everybody's complaints, and I wholeheartedly agree 100%. But at the end of the day, this is where we're going. This is the new model. This is what a lot of companies are going to do. The good news is, like you said, Mav, video games are in a good place. And we got a lot of different companies. We got indies and some major publishers still that are giving the classic style video game to us, right? So, and that's not going to ever stop, right? Even if the big boys shift, the indie developers are always going to find a home by doing the old school style, right? By giving us the single player experiences, by giving us the unmonetized type of game upfront, all for one price or whatever the case may be. So again, I agree with all of you. I love it. I love the passion. I know exactly where you guys are at. Again, I could have a whole, day's worth of show just on what they've done to Star Wars and the ones that I loved through the years. So, again, for me, I'm just accepting now at this point that not everything is going to be for me anymore, that I'm going to see things that I once loved be turned into something that I no longer love. And I just have to say, you know what? I had great memories. I had great experiences from the old stuff. And now it's just not for me. So be it. That's the way it's moving forward.
Dude, that's like music genre.
Yeah.
There's so many. Pong's
got the energy like, I've had my time. It's time for you to have yours.
Really?
I think they're making the games for you now.
It took me a long time. No, it's true, Mav. And I don't want to say I don't have passion for it because I've fought over a lot of this stuff, for a long time. But now I'm just to the point where it's business is business. They're looking to the younger generations. They're not going to keep looking to Gen X anymore and the boomers anymore. It's the younger generation that's coming up that's going to be giving them the money going forward for the most part. Again, we still count, and there's still going to be some things that are catered towards our style and our likes. But at the end of the day, they're always going to move towards the younger generation. And that's where we're at, again. And so for me, it took me a long time to not be angry about this stuff anymore. And now, so for me, it's just like, hey, this is where we're at. I'm going to pick and choose what I like. Again, I've accepted the free-to-play model for what it is, and I can just hope for the best. But again, if it's something I don't like, then I don't invest any money in it, and I just move on to something else. So, but we got plenty coming out. I'm not worried.
That's the thing,
Yeah, it is.
Like, we do have so much. I just want Splinter Cell.
Yep.
Here's the other thing, right? Okay. I think there's room for this, right? Mm-hmm. I think this stuff is allowed to exist. I don't want to take this stuff away from people, but you got to give us both, right? You can't just do this. Sure. You got it. Like, there's okay, Mario, right? For example, we were talking about Nintendo. Mario has Mario Golf, Mario Party, Mario Tennis, Mario All-Star, whatever, Mario Kart. But they give us every 5-6 years or whatever, a big Mario game, right? A traditional, real Mario game, right? Now that makes it okay, right? Like, what if there was no actual next big Mario game or no actual next big anything, and all we got is the side stuff? All we got is the money-making stuff. All we got is the remakes. All we got is the remasters, and we didn't get that next big franchise. You got to have the heart still of what you are putting out there. You got to push that forward, right? Like, you can't just put Sam Fisher in everything or Splinter Cell agents in everything possible and not actually use them in their own game again.
But Mav, you'd like to think so, but look at Fortnite. What heart does Fortnite have?
But Fortnite was its own creation in of itself, right?
And Fortnite started this Royale crap.
You know what? Sam is coming. It's coming.
It's a mix match of everything.
I know it. I know it in my heart of hearts.
Like that. Fortnite had its own creation characters, but at way long before they ever started adding other characters into it.
But no more.
And those characters
were generic.
Oh no, yeah, they do. They have that new little girl with like the rat. What is her name?
Generic.
But the kids love those characters. Like they got excited.
Correct.
But that was an original creation. It's original IP, original creation, right? It wasn't like if it launched like that, right? When it was just all of this other stuff, then that would have been like, okay, they're just obviously making money on all this other stuff. But they reached a like pinnacle of success before they actually even started doing a lot of that, and they innovated in a lot of ways, like doing like the Travis Scott concert and doing like dude, like it was cool, man. Like they're doing like different things in the game, like actually taking part in that. The excitement that like these kids had and stuff was like,
how many V-Bucks did it cost you to get into that?
Just free.
It was free.
Oh,
it was free.
Yeah,
but again, that you're talking about stuff that doesn't appeal necessarily to
but
everybody.
like it's not taking like they didn't make that wasn't their Clancy game. It was an original creation. You know what I mean? Like
no, and
they started something was from scratch.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is for the kids that never experienced Clancy, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
Right. As long as the character's cool and it looks cool and it does something great in the game, that's all they care about. Right.
Okay, but like
those kids had never experienced Halo. They were like, "Who's this guy in fucking a suit?"
Correct.
But they're bringing a traditional Halo game, right? Like
exactly.
But they're
but they're gonna bring a traditional. It's coming. Like
it's got to. They can't just do this. And
I can't. Exactly. Like there is no doubt in my mind that they're not. I literally can't even fathom a world where they're like, that's in the past and we're leaving that there.
That's what it feels like right now, right? Because of what they're doing. But like, you got to have, I just can't reiterate enough to any of these companies, you got to have both. You can't just go this route with the side stuff, the monetization, free to play, using the brands in a different way.
Battle Royales.
You gotta have the original source material still.
We have to.
Or otherwise people will never continue to care about the shit anymore.
Because in 15 years, when these children who have never played the first three, or the first original games, who have never fucking touched a Halo, who have never touched all these things, but have only played Master Chief in a fucking 3-month battle pass or whatever it is, they're not gonna fucking care. Like they won't care. There's no heartfelt connection there to the character, and that's where that shit comes from. So if they're not
invested,
put it in, then it's not there. Like it's just not. It'll fade. And I've been saying that with Nintendo. Like I've been saying that like nostalgia fades. It's not, it won't last forever. It will not last forever.
People will stop giving a shit because it was just something from way long ago that they never even played it.
Exactly.
Like
how many kids do you know who Ness is?
Yeah.
From Nintendo. Like how many kids can like point out like Ness on a fucking photo of anything? Nobody. Like nobody is gonna know who that is. Like he's gone. He's gone in Nintendo history. It's in the past, and until they bring it back, he's gone. Like
he's gone.
That's that. Like
is he a link to the past?
They're
sorry.
Like and you know what, Kate? I'm not hating on Fortnite. I think Fortnite is
Yeah.
fucking mind-boggling. It's like a new genre of gaming. They created something
exactly
amazing. Fucking amazing. Not for me, because
No.
I don't build, but I'll play like I was playing PUBG before I played Fortnite, so I like had that kind of bias. Like I was like, oh, Fortnite, I'm playing PUBG, like whatever. But I mean, but what Fortnite's done for the gaming community, what they've done as a whole, is absolutely astounding. It's like Roblox, like
Roblox is huge.
Well,
yeah.
What
I
the
mean,
fuck? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Who heard of Ninja before Fortnite? But he actually played Halo.
No, he played
tournaments
Halo.
first.
I knew him from Halo.
I actually
so
knew
I'm
who
like,
he
I
was
did.
too.
Wait, hold on.
But kids don't. They only know him as a
Yeah.
Fortnite king.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's my point. They don't know that he played Halo tournaments and was big in Halo. They only know
that's on
about him in
Ninja.
Fortnite.
That's on
Fortnite
Ninja.
is a
My
generation.
point is, it's the same with games. I agree with Lady. It's the same thing. The children, none of the, I don't know, certain age kids today don't even know what games came from the OG Xbox at all.
No, mine don't, and I'm a fucking OG Xbox player. I bet that
me too.
Mav's daughter probably has never played fucking Crimson Skies. Like, it's not like something
Exactly.
we're like, hey, let's sit down.
I will say
Like,
something about Fortnite though, is playing that game, she saw the Lara Croft skin, and she wanted to play
Tomb Raider, right?
Yeah.
So
And
they
that's
went
my
with
boys.
awesome.
Like when they put Halo out, like I've been trying to get them to play Halo, and like they didn't really care to do it. And then when they put it in Fortnite, I was like, hey, it's Master Chief. And they were like, oh, that's that game you want me to play. I'm like, yeah, bitch. Go fucking
There
play
is
Halo.
another remaster or remake I would like to put in there, and that's Army of Two.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because like it was such an awesome co-op game, and there weren't
Co-ops
many.
are such a good.
And I played it with my son, and we played through both of them and loved it, and it's such memories. And so Army of Two would be an awesome one to be remade.
Yeah. If we're back
I got
on
another remake that I'd like to hear. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off, Psycho.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say I got another remake I'd like to see made is from the PS1 era, JRPG Legend of Dragoon. I'll go on record and say I think that's better than Final Fantasy VII.
Oh yeah, that was a good game. Yeah. Rogue Galaxy, I would like to see come back. That was a PS2 game that I really liked. What were you saying, Psycho?
I have like 3 games that I would like to have remakes. 1, Republic Commando on the OG Xbox. That game, that great co-op fun, great game that delved in with the Star Wars Stormtroopers, Republic Stormtroopers. 2 would be Guardian Heroes from the Sega Saturn. Great, another fun co-op game, fun side scroller. To this day, I'm still finding out different endings of the game because there's different linear paths, different paths you can take, and you have choices where you want to go. Great game, love it. Would kill to see a remake. And then Skies of Arcadia, of course, would love a remake of that.
Yeah, that's for her Tog.
Yeah, well, and me too. But yeah.
Shout out to Hertog Vin, awesome dude. Skies of Arcadia would be awesome. I agree. That's one of my favorite RPGs of all time, as well as there's so many other PS2 era RPGs that are just like Wild at Arms. Just like there's so much awesome stuff out there. I wanted to get into a little bit of Splitgate because this game has taken the world by storm, which is kind of surprising to me because mechanically it feels a lot like Halo, which was interesting, and they don't even hide it. Like the maps are like straight up like look exactly like Halo maps. Like I could have swore I was standing on midship, like in sometimes and like and other things. And they got like what was the
gunplay? Everything.
Boarding action.
It feels.
Well, I mean, even the modes.
Portal 3.
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
modes, teabag, fucking. Have you guys
Teabag,
played
yeah.
that one yet? Have you guys
Yeah,
played
all-
it?
Yeah, they got
Oddball.
Yeah, we
Oddball.
played it. Guess who got teabagged the most, lady?
You.
Yeah, that'd have been me.
Yeah. So did I, Lupa.
It's like so emphatic. It's like, oh, this is getting me on a joke now. It's like, what the hell? They keep taking my tea bag.
Do you know who did amazing at teabags? Cloud, who hates fucking Halo.
Yeah.
Like just fucking ripped ass on that.
Yeah, but I
fucking
bet he
mode.
plays
And I was
Portal
like, what
really
the
well.
fuck? Like you. Yeah, he did. He like his, I fucking hate Halo, but I'm gonna fucking kick ass at this game that plays exactly like Halo and love it. I'm not gonna tell him that, even though he's in chat. He's probably listening.
Oh, is that the NLG shirt you won, Paul?
Yes, sir.
Shout out to NLG.
Shout out to NLG, all the brothers.
Represent Mike,
That's
Peter,
right.
and Chris.
Arr.
Like the Hanson brothers.
Something like that.
I don't know. I was just trying to think of a group of 3 brothers, and that's
Jonas Brothers.
The Jonas
I
Brothers.
immediately go to Harry Potter. Fucking brothers from the fucking
The
Holy-
Weezys.
So Splitgate, like
Black card.
at first when I first like went into the game and I was trying to play it, I was like, I wasn't using the portals like at all. I was like,
Me
I'm probably
neither.
never gonna use these.
No, I actually did. I tried too hard on the portals.
Right. So at first I was like, okay, I need to just get used to the freaking game.
Yeah.
I can't like get used to like the guns and the shooting and the portals. But now that I'm getting more comfortable with it, I'm able to do the portals also, and I have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, we played it the other night, and it was fantastic. You get the controls down pretty quick because you kind of it has that shooter element that you already
Some of us do.
known.
Sykes.
And it's and then adding the portal adds another element on top of how you play, so you could use it for strategy and like especially like with oddball. You can have shoot your portal over here and then get closer to the oddball, and you can have somebody jump through, and you can hop around the whole map, and then it's just brilliant. And if your other team helps you by shooting portals for you to jump through, helps you out. But you gotta have to play with people that understands that, and that does and just doesn't sit there and just like you can't play it as a shooter and not use the portals. You gotta use the portals.
Guaranteed I got more time with that ball due to the portals.
Yes. Facts.
What I like to do is like go hide in a corner and shoot a portal, and then like shoot one like high up in the on the map, and then just look through the portal.
That's my favorite.
And you can see the whole
See, that's
map
the most frustrating way to get killed. Also,
oh yeah,
I
love
like
it.
doing that shit. Like that's
it's
something I love.
awesome. But
So I loved the game on Thursday and on Friday. And then on Saturday, when everybody figured out this game existed and all the tryhards from Halo came in, I started dying constantly. I was like, I don't love this game anymore because I was getting like 27 kills a fucking match down to like 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
I found that the bots as Mav and Psycho, and that we're calling them, Kaitlin, were killing me more than anything. It's like they were hunting me down all the time.
Yeah,
they were hard. I was like, leave me
the bots were
alone.
freaking crazy. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
so how did you know who the bots were? They were like just the like regular fucking names, right? Like,
they would have like the names were actually pretty funny.
Well, we played in private matches, so any name we didn't recognize we knew was a bot, right? But they had we had like crazy
knew
names
I was the
in
weakest and just hunted me continually.
No, it wasn't that they knew you're the weakest. They just knew who you were. Like I was hiding somewhere on the map where I knew no one would find me, but the fucking bots knew, and they're like, I was like, that's a bot. And
so you're hiding.
Oh
with
yeah,
the oddball. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
That's how you're gonna win. But fuck, those bots found me real quick. I'm like, you sons of bitches.
Did you play Splitgate at all yet, Pong?
No, sir. I watched the video of some guy no scope about 6 people in a row, and I was like, yeah, nope, not for me. Nope. You know, I'm a cat.
You've been busy with Chris Tales when you've had time.
I've been busy with a lot of things, but again, I'm a casual Halo fan for a lot of different reasons, but I'd rather play straight up old school style, you know, multiplayer versus that kind of stuff. So it looks cool, and I understand why everybody's having a blast with it, because it does look awesome. But again, seeing somebody no scope, it's one of my biggest grievances with multiplayer games is if you're going to use a sniper, you should not be able to no scope.
Yeah.
I hate that.
See, this is an example of like, okay, this is like a team of 4 right now, right?
Yep.
And they go and they like make something that's definitely a love letter to like 2 different games, right?
Yeah.
And without using the IP and bastardizing it, but still paying respect to it, right? And it's free to play model, so free to play. I have no issue with that, but so it works, especially for stuff like this. That Halo multiplayer is going free to play as well. What's funny is that people are going to be playing Halo Infinite multiplayer and be like, you know what, this is missing? It's missing portals.
I so want a Portal 3 though. It would be so much fun to get a Portal 3. I love Portal.
But Valve doesn't do that. They're making the Steam Deck,
but it
which
would be so good.
Oof, if you guys saw this PC Gamer report on the Steam Deck with the interview,
I did. Yes,
it has me kind of like second thinking potentially.
Second guessing it? Fuck, I know.
Because they're going for,
like I said, Mav,
800p 30 frames is the target on the AAA games, and you know that's what coming from their like one of their tech guys, I think that was in this interview, or somebody that from Valve in this interview with PC Mag, and you know I left 30 frames behind in November of last year. I'm never going back, you know. So if I have to put my games on low, I can deal with medium, right? But if I have to put my games on like a low where everything looks like shit, then I'd feel like I'm playing on the Switch.
Your screen's this big though.
So what would be the difference?
Your screen's this big, and you're playing at those. You're not gonna see the difference. I guarantee that. Like
maybe.
But Mav's thinking about docking too.
Okay. Well, I don't think about docking when I think about that, because I think that when they are making this device, they're not really they're giving you docking as an option, but that's not their
but they say 800p.
That's not the way they intend you to play it.
That's not the way they intend it. And to me, like, the price point for something like that is still there for somebody who is getting into PC gaming, who's not looking at this device as something to play like the next fucking Horizon on, but as something to play the next fucking big Steam game on, like Phasmophobia, or the Viking game that I can't, Valheim, like something like that, New World. Like those are the games that I think they're thinking of when they're looking at this device, and not those big like I need the fucking best graphics for.
Well, I don't need the best graphics. I just want 60 frames, right? Like medium's good with me. But like if you see some of these games on low settings on PC, I mean it's just like you're looking at like walls with no textures and stuff.
So you're gonna be playing on like a super small screen.
Yeah, but I still want to see at least a little bit of detail, right? Like
you probably wouldn't even notice it anyway.
So when it's
low textures look pretty bad. Like low textures on PC for me look pretty bad. Does anybody else here like play PC games like
I have to play it on low settings because that's my I have a 12-year-old PC that I built, and so I have a 7870 graphics card, so this thing can't do high settings or ultra settings. Like the games that
would you buy a new device knowing that you had to play on low settings to get 60 frames?
If I'm gonna spend $600, I'm gonna put that into a graphics card for updating my PC.
Has this given you second thoughts, Pong?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, that's why I said wait and see how people use it and what people get out of it, right? Because we don't know, that might be what they're shooting for, but then getting people's hands, people, play around with it and are able to, get it to outperform what they, suggest as the target. So be it, but again, that if it's going to run at 30 frames, because especially since I am more looking at the docking version of it. And if I can't get 60 frames on my big screen, then that's not what I was looking for.
and that's my question was when this all came out.
Yeah.
I was like, when it's docked,
Right.
I was like, it's
what does
not
it
going to be 4K, and I thought you guys said that it was going to be upscaled. I was like, how's it going to upscale 4K if the output is going to be 800? I know the screen
it can do like whatever the game can push on docked mode, because it's just whatever the performance of the device can do.
So it can't do it could do whatever resolution, but it can't do ultra settings. So it can only do pretty much low settings, unless it's
at 60. You can do medium,
unless you
to
have
high
something like
on 30.
Unless you have like a xCloud that can possibly do a higher setting graphically and stream it. That would be the only thing I could see that would be beneficial. And that's what
it's just I was all in. I'm no longer like I'm now in a wait and see, like, but it's only cost me $5, right? So
can I say something?
Yeah, Lupa.
It's $5 to hold your pre-order, correct?
Yeah, and then when the pre-orders become available, that's when you have to get them.
Okay.
Go all in.
So you don't think that they were pushing this Steam Deck, and holding all these people with these $5, which is really low to hold something on pre-order, just so they can oh, look how big this is. We're going to the stratosphere, baby. And then when it comes out, everybody's going to be like, cancel pre-order, and they won't have sold as many as you all think they're going to.
They gave us a 24-hour window and a $5 pre-order down. 24 hours. They came out of nowhere. They told us about this console. They told us about all these specs. They got everybody's fucking hopes up on the same day that fucking Switch pre-orders were going live. I mean, I'm not gonna say that that's a coincidence, but
I am.
Wow, big fucking coincidence there, Val.
I just think it's all a big con.
They did it, and no, it's a fucking amazing. I mean, it's a con in a way, but it's great.
No, I mean it's a con how they
did
made it seem so big when everybody's just holding their pre-order with $5, and then like Mav and myself reading the PC article, then you're seeing the real facts come out.
That's me. Like, and that was me after 24 hours when they announced it. I said $5. I'm going to put my pre-order down on this. I'm going to get my pre-order on this. And then I have 5 months to make up my mind on if this is something that I want or not. And that's where my mind was. Because in chat, remember, Mav, you were like, I can't afford to pre-order. I'm like, it's only $5 to pre-order it. Like, just fucking pre-order it, and we will find out if it's something that we're going to actually hold on to or not. And that's where I'm at this point. And I actually got onto it. I do know I am set for December. Like, I got onto that first wave of pre-order. So like, I mean, I could have it on the first launch if I wanted it. And I'm still like, I don't really know if that's something that I want, because for me, it's like, I can take it or I can give it to my kids. And like, for me, it's my kids that I think would benefit the most out of something like this, but they're so small and stupid that they like destroy everything. So I don't want to buy them something that's $500 fucking dollars.
But I mean, it's still, to me, like what it can do, it's still better than the Switch.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, maybe.
Nobody is saying that it's not better than Switch, and the games that you can get on
games
it
you can
are
get
cheaper.
on it is
cheaper
that's
and better than Switch.
And as an emulation machine, it's still going to be fantastic.
Absolutely,
100%.
Yep.
I just want 60 frames, and I don't want to have to play something like really shit quality to get it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to see what kind of level. I can't go back to 30. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
I know you can't. I can.
do it.
I know you can't. I can.
Yeah, I'm not saying that like other people can't. Obviously, there's a market for it. Otherwise, they wouldn't make that the target.
Oh my fucking God, Kate. I just need you to turn your camera back off.
I'm never wearing red lipstick again.
Don't do it, please.
Unless you want this reaction from her, then do it again.
Yeah, there's obviously a market for the 30 frames, right? and 800p 30 frames on the display is what they said the target is. But like when I play something, like if I play Far Cry 4 and 5 at 1080 60 on the Series X, and then I go and play 4K 30, the 4K 30 looks and feels like shit to me, where the 1080 60 looks and feels better. And that's a completely different mentality than I had when back in last gen, right? It's just like I can't, like, it feels, the games feel so rough. Like my mind has experienced this new thing now for me as a console gamer, and I like when I play something that's 30 now, it just feels, it feels bad when I'm playing the games. So I would have to play a lot of 30 frames games and get used to that again before I was like actually started to get adjusted back to it without it
Here I
feeling
am
bad,
as a Nintendo gamer being like,
well, Nintendo, a lot of those games are 60 frames, right? That's the one thing I can say about them. But they do that, the way they do that is by making them all look like cartoons, right? So they're able to achieve the 60 frames with 1080p on a lot of their games. And then the games that have more like texture and detail and stuff are all like 720, 540, 600p, 30 frames and shit, right? That's my problem with the Switch. But like this is going to be running those kind of games, right? The ones that have like more detail, more texture, more things. Like I was planning on using this as like my little RTS buddy. I even said like in a DM to somebody, I was like, I'm gonna nickname it RTS buddy, right? And if I'm running an RTS at 30 frames, no, I ain't doing it, right? So I'll move on if that's the case, but I'm gonna wait and see because it is only costing $5 right now to hold that pre-order. So
yeah, that's where I'm at. As we develop more, because like they gave us 24-hour window, like that's what they gave. Like this is what we have, this is what we're gonna tell you, and then tomorrow you can pre-order it for $5, but it's not gonna come out for 6 months. So I'm like, yeah, for $5 I will put down my $5, and in the 6 months of hands-on that we know that they're going to give the fucking people, I will make up my mind on what I'm getting. And even now we're a week into it, a week and a half into it, and we've already gotten more information. So I just feel like over the next few months, we're going to learn more and more. And all this, like we had that whole article about how it's not going to be able to play shit like Apex and Destiny and all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to play Apex on a handheld anytime soon, like, or any kind of PvP shooter like that. I don't get a handheld to play a PvP shooter. Like, I'm not 5. It's not happening. So I just think that like there's all these things, and there were people in the fucking comment section saying like, oh, you've lost my pre-order because I can't play Apex. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
you're so upset that you can't play fucking Apex on your fucking Steam Deck. I keep wanting to say Stream Deck.
You think they did that on purpose for the people that accidentally missed the R on their keyboards?
All the time.
Did they say how many people pre-ordered it?
No, but it was a lot. I mean, they did
enough to go into third quarter next year.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I don't even know how to tell what quarter I'm at on my pre-order. Like I can't find it.
Oh, if you go into it, you go into your pre-order, you should be able to just click on it and it'll tell you.
I need to do it on PC, I think. I've only been looking at it on my phone.
Maybe. I thought I did mine on my phone though.
Yeah, maybe you can, when we're done, maybe you can walk me through it. Because I don't know what quarter I'm in. All right.
Grandpa now.
I know. All right, everybody. Well, hey, check out. I'm gonna be playing Splitgate. Kate's gonna be playing Splitgate. We're gonna try and get in the servers, but they're at capacity, right? The people.
Oh, also, like they said, like everybody that's played it so far gets like I think 4 or 5 free drops because they had to shut down the servers yesterday.
Yeah. So with the game they're gonna have a like a waiting list, so when you get in there you're going to be queued until you can get in. So
I wasn't queued at all. It just like kept saying retry.
Well, today they had the someone from the dev team came out and said that this is what's going on. They just hired an engineer the back end today to help get the player count, because their player count was only for literally almost 7,000 players. They did not expect to have 63,000 players to be getting into this beta. So, it shocked them, and they're blessed. And they're doing their damnedest to get it rectified so people can experience the game, because it's a lot of fun. I mean,
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And that's what gaming is about. It's just
That's
having fun.
right.
One thing I'll say, credit to them, even with the servers all at capacity and stuff, when we were playing, we didn't have like any lag or anything.
Yeah, no lag.
It was working, right? So
yeah.
Hey, I want to thank. Well, first off, we had a $5 super chat I want to get to real quick from Chet Sandberg. Thank you, sir. And he said he wants a new Amped, but Shredders is a spiritual successor. Yeah, a new Amped. I liked 1080 snowboarding a lot back in the day. Lots of good snowboarding games. I'm excited to try Shredders out, and I think that's on Game Pass, right? Because wasn't that revealed at the
yes
game? Yeah. So hey, heck yeah. And I want to thank Boogie for being an awesome guest today, hanging out with us, dude. Thanks for making the special time to be here. Super appreciate it. But hey, man, tell everybody where they can find you on Twitter.
Hey, can we let Lady do her outro first?
Oh, yeah. Hey. Thanks. Yeah, let's do that first. Lady.
Yeah.
As always,
I have to go, guys.
You're awesome.
Sorry. Thank you. I am Lady. You can find me on Twitter at Lady_AF. That's LAIDY_AF. You can find me here every Friday with this bunch of lovely people, plus 3-Bit, who is unfortunately not here tonight. And then you can find me on Wednesdays with Gaming Beyond the Box, and Tuesdays over at Players of Everything, Masters of None. But yeah, it was a pleasure to be here. I have to jet, so thank you guys for having me.
Later, lady.
Take it
I will
easy.
hopefully catch up with
Bye,
you later.
lady. All right.
See
huh?
you later, lady.
Take it easy. All right. Now,
Yes,
Boogie.
Last Emperor. I've noticed that a few times.
What
All the
thing?
time. His eyebrows. Your eyebrows.
Do I
go
raise
up.
my eyebrows?
Yes.
Yeah,
When? Like,
just occasionally. A lot.
do I do
Not-
that?
When,
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
you're-
you do it
your
a lot.
expressions, man.
I have
It's your
expressions.
expressions. Yeah.
Oh, I just did
you
it
have
again. Now I'm
expressions.
seeing it.
Oh, there it is.
I can't. It's just second nature. I can't help it. It's like a. It's
Hey,
a.
everybody.
It's a facial.
It's like you
tip.
go like,
Facial tick.
I don't know. Gosh, now I can't stop looking at the camera. All right, Boogie. Thank you for being here. My eyebrows are raised with excitement that you were here today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that was raised.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hey, bada bing. Hey.
oh my gosh.
Boogie, tell everybody where they can find you on the socials.
You can find me at IXI, Boogieman IXI on Twitter. And I mean, I have a YouTube, but there's nothing there yet. I appreciate you all for having me out. And I do have one more remake I'd like to see. And this is kind of more akin to mine and Chris Jones's heart. I want to see Backyard Wrestling come back.
Oh, yeah. That'd be a good one. Backyard Wrestling. Heck yeah. And first in my heart, my lovely wife, Kaitlin, who was a stunner ready for our date.
Oh my
tonight.
god, can you
Our hot
stop?
date.
Y'all stop, seriously.
Donna.
Like, where can
Y'all are
everybody?
embarrassing me.
Where can everybody find you, sweetheart?
First I want to say that Knockout City second season starts next week, and it's going to be like at the movie. Is that what it's at the movies?
Yep.
It's like a movie theme. It looks really cool. I'm super excited to play that. But other than that, I want to thank Boogie and the rest of the Magnificent Seven, Miss 3-Bit, and you can find me on Twitter at KaitlinX0615. You can find me here on Friday. What are you laughing at?
Nothing, babe.
Are you eating fucking animal crackers?
I was trying to chew
Yeah.
quietly.
How disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, you can find me here every Friday, and then tomorrow, I guess, at 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Eastern, back here on the Mav and Fancy Show. And yeah, thank you, chat.
Yeah, thank
You're
you.
so fucking distracting. I'm gonna kick your fucking ass.
extraordinary AssassinLupa. Thank you for being here, as always.
Always, man. You can find me AssassinLupa on Twitter or on Xbox Live, here every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. UK time. Chat, you've been awesome. Boogie Woogie, it's been great to have you on. Really love chatting to you. And to the Magnificent Seven, I love you, fam. Catch you all gaming.
Lupa. And the
Mav, you are just on something, and I'm seriously gonna fucking kick your ass. I'm serious.
No, be nice. Be nice to me. I love you.
No.
Psycho Mellow Fellow from outer space. Where can everybody find you? Are you in like a secluded warehouse right now?
Yeah, me and
Oh,
Isaac
okay.
are hanging
You're
out.
in space. Okay.
Yeah.
The Mellow Fellow trapped in space. Where can everybody find you?
Yeah, everyone can find me. No. First, chat, you guys were awesome. Thanks for coming out tonight. You guys were on fire. Boogie, thanks for coming on, brother. I know the first time little man was keeping you from was trying to keep you had to take care of him. We understand. So it was great to have you on tonight. Miss 3-bit, and hopefully we'll get him back on next week. You guys can find me everywhere at Psychonauts 8. I have a YouTube channel called Gamer Chat Podcast. Gamer Chat's one word. You can find me Tuesdays on Pomon with Lady and the rest of the crew at Noobs and Pros. You can find me Wednesdays at Fun Pop at 10 o'clock, and here every Friday with the Magnificent Seven at 9 p.m. You can find me there. So, and this Saturday I will be guesting on a show with two lovely people. One, yeah, you know who. So, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, broski. And the one, the only Pong Soul. That's okay with every franchise being bastardized. Apparently, it is
what it is.
It is what it is. No, just messing, dude. Love you, man. Where can everybody find you, bro?
Yeah, man, of course. God, this was awesome. 3-bit, first of all, hope you had a good night tonight, brother, hanging out with real people instead of your family. You know, whatever. You do your thing.
Real people.
Love you, man. Missed you, but Boogie, it was great to have you back on, brother. I'm glad you could get here and not have obviously family stuff to take care of, which we all understand here, obviously, but glad you could be on for a full show, man. So always good to see you and always good to hear you. So, but otherwise, family, love you all. Nothing but love and respect here. And it was another great Friday night. I love the passion tonight. You guys were on fire. So that was awesome to sit back and listen to some of my thoughts echoed over and over again. So that was great. Chat, you guys were absolutely stellar. Thank you all for coming out. Tomorrow morning, I hope you all have your alarm set already because Living Split Screen is coming to you guys live. That's right. Steele and myself will be back 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. UK time. So if you haven't set your alarm, set your alarms now because we don't want to have to wake you up because we can't reach out and smack you. You got to get up on your own and tune in. So Living Split Screen tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, I will be on with the Gentleman and the Sauce over at Game on Daily. That's right. Asa and Gaz have invited me on, so I will be on over there. And then tomorrow night, I will be on the Shop Podcast, as always, with PTK Blam, so Cherry and Fuzzy Belvedere. Maybe Staggerilla is going to be back, but 3-bit's supposed to be on tomorrow night. So that's going to be a blast, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time. Tuesday, you know the drill, Xbox Factor Podcast, Double Barrel Gaming, Mr. Boomstick, Zemi Games, 3-bit. And myself, and maybe who knows who else will show up. Mav's been showing up a lot. So check us out there, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central. Otherwise, love you all. Thank you so much for coming out each and every week. Play what you love what you play, and we'll be talking to you real soon. Thank you, guys.
Hey, man. Love you. Chat. Love you, everybody. Love you. Boogie, thank you for the $10 super chat, sir. He says, thank you guys for having me. The panel and chat have been amazing. Dude, you're awesome, dude. You had to do that, but super appreciate it, as always.
Boogie's the man.
The boogie. I hope all of you guys had a fun time tonight. I think it was an awesome show. Lots of fun talk. Again, chat was on fire. Lots of awesome people. And just lots of awesome thoughts. Like everybody was chiming in today. That's what I love to see. It's just like people engaging with the conversation. So don't forget that this podcast is available on Spotify. It's available on Apple Podcasts, available on Google Podcasts, and more. If you prefer to listen in your car, that's an easy way to do it. Super appreciate it. Reviews help on Apple Podcasts and stuff like that. If you guys listen that way, if you have a chance to leave a review on Apple or whatever you listen on, that helps get the podcast to more people. If you like the content, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And you guys rock. And until next time, we will see you again. And thank you for watching Xbox Ultimate.
Love you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Later, all.
Gaming.